Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Between the Lines talk show, the show where I can constantly try to rip off my friend's intro to his show. With me, I have my great co-host, Jake. How you doing, Jake?
Hi, I am the titular friend with the intro that's being ripped off, even though it's a very common YouTube thing, so don't beat yourself up over it.
Is it? I had no idea. I've only ever seen you do it, but then I don't watch many podcasts. So.
Yeah, I try and keep the energy high, like high and low, and dip in and out. You full send all the energy in the first 3 seconds. It's really fun.
I mean, it's everyone's makeup coffee. I'm sure there's some guy who's like, I'm going to listen to this to work, and every day the hello everybody gets them up. And then I also have a good guest star who frequents when he can, Bruce. How you doing, Bruce?
Pretty good.
So, first off on the docket, how's everyone's doing? Anything fun life stuff they want to talk about?
Well, I don't know when you're going to upload this, but yesterday in real life was July 4th, so...
Yes, it was.
I wish I could say I enjoyed it like everyone else, but on July 3rd, a storm took out the power to our neighborhood, and it wasn't restored until 3:30 a.m. July 5th, so very late July 4th night for me. So I stayed home all day. Couldn't shower. It was pretty bad. But I watched a lot of movies on my laptop. I did a lot of reading. I'm starting to catch up on Return of the Wolfman because what the hell else could I do with no power? So, I'm getting there. Doing some fun things.
Damn, that fucking sucks, man.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Yeah, I had a good 4th of July. Well, I would talk about my 4th of July, but now I feel like I'm just flaunting. But I will anyway. Mine went well. Every year, me and my close friends get together and just eat some food and watch movies. This year, my partner joined us, so we watched Pearl Harbor, which I'd never seen before, and that was... Whoa, that was a rough 3 hours, let me tell you.
Oh my God. So, have you seen the Tobey Maguire film Brothers?
I haven't, but I know the scene you're talking about, and I was constantly referencing that.
Well, just because that film is Pearl Harbor if it were actually a great movie. Just dead ass.
I need to see it. It was so funny, too, because...
It's the same plot.
We're in, the first 45 minutes, and he's like, I have to go off, and I'm like, wait a minute. Is he going to go off? They think he's dead. Then the friend is going to... Get together, and then he's gonna have a kid. Then he's gonna come back, but then he has a kid. He dies, and then, and my partner goes, "Just watch the movie, please. Just watch the movie."
Yep. And all of Pearl Harbor just happens like that, and it's the most Michael Bay execution you could ever fucking imagine.
Yeah, Michael Bay taking himself seriously is painful.
Oh my God.
It was great action scenes, but that was.
Okay, I can one-up you on that one. I saw that movie in the theater when it came out when I was 9.
Oh,
Yikes.
my God. Goodness gracious.
Pearl Harbor 2001? 2002?
01.
01.
Yeah,
I would have been 5, so I was not comprehending Pearl Harbor in theaters at all.
No, but that's a movie where, the actual attack scene is good. The rest of the movie is awful.
It really was. I was like, Jesus Christ.
It's so corny.
Anyways, to get it back.
Because they were trying to make Titanic again. That's what they were doing.
Yeah, exactly. It was running off the coattails of Titanic. And you could tell Michael Bay just kind of wanted to do action-y Pearl Harbor and then had to do the I don't know, man. It was... Oh, God. But other than that, it was a good 4th of July. The older I get, the harder it is for me to get drunk. So I try, but I fail at it. How was your 4th of July, Bruce? What did you get up to?
It was fine. I mean, it was just one day I had off in the middle of my work week. So
Same.
I basically treated it like a regular day off, and we just did the usual family thing where we eat dinner and we watch 1776.
Really?
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
The musical about the signing of the Declaration of Independence, which is actually really funny.
Ah, okay, cool.
Spider-Man Spider-Man's got some new tricks up his sleeve with the Spider-Man Triple Action Web Blaster. 3 ways to shoot webs, water, and missiles. Now all in one. Just pop in the water blasting tank and everyone gets soaked. Pop and lock in the missile blaster for rapid-fire missile action.
Bullseye!
Can you handle more? Pop in the web blaster and shoot tons of crime-busting web. Loads of web blasting action for maximum satisfaction. Water blasting, missile blasting, and web blasting all in one. Triple the action, triple the fun. The Spider-Man Triple Action Web Blaster.
Project updates. Does anyone have any cool project updates they want to talk about real quick?
So I had talked about Ninja Pirates being the next book that I'm having done. I would ideally like a literary agent. I'm still in the Query Trenches. Got plenty of unfortunate leads and plenty of I'm gonna pass at this times. But I am now 75% done with another third book. I am a machine. I cannot be stopped. So
No fucking way.
Yeah.
What?
that one I can't share a single detail about because it's a lot less linear. It's kind of Devil's League-y where like I gotta kind of really work on it, whereas like the next one is accessible, so it's whatever.
Right. Oh, that's right. This is the one where you woke up in the middle of the night and you went, I have an idea. Is that
Yes,
right?
I
Yes.
had to write it down.
Okay.
Oh no, that is still an idea. That's a fourth thing.
Okay.
I don't know. I can't market that book, so I don't know if I'll actually go through with writing it. But it might be a fun pitch.
You really are a machine who can't be stopped.
I am
That
able to be stopped.
all I can think of is there's an episode of Seinfeld where Jerry wakes up in the middle of the night with a joke idea, writes it down on his notepad, and then the next morning he can't read what his handwriting says.
Well, Google Docs does not have that problem in 2025.
Nope, it does not.
Houses just lose power. So
Thank God. What about you, Bruce? Any projects you'd like to talk about?
Oh, okay. So you guys know I've talked to you about this, that I went through some serious technical issues with all my stuff here, where my laptop battery wasn't charging, and then so I replaced the battery, which was way more affordable than I thought it would be, but then the laptop started fucking up in other ways. Audacity wasn't opening, or it was like disconnecting my physical audio device. Like, all kinds of shit was happening, so I'm like, fuck it, I'll bite the bullet, I'll buy a new laptop. Got that all set up, and I finally recorded a new screenplay, Archaeology, which should have been out by the end of the month, but it's going to be out as soon as I get the fucker edited. And since my audio got lost for that one episode where I announced this, I'm going to say publicly for the first time, I am writing a book on the unproduced Universal Monster remakes, and I'm at a point where I feel like enough has been written I can actually talk about it. Granted, I'm still in the middle of the same chapter that I'm trying to write because of all this shit that's been going on, but I'm getting there.
hell yeah, man. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
audience for context, Xander and I have known about this for quite some time. I knew about this like over a year ago because we did screenplay archaeologies together and stuff.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
just the fact that you're like finally almost like not almost done, but like you're so much further along than you were in the past is like a fuck yeah moment. You know, it just feels so good to complete a project.
Yeah, after this next one finishes, it should be, depending on how I divide it up, 3 chapters to write.
Ooh,
Nice.
that's
Holy
not bad.
shit. I mean, I'm sure a chapter is super long by that logic, but like that's awesome.
Well, one of them is going to be super long because it's 3 scripts that all share enough plot points that I kind of feel like I have to lump them together.
That's gonna suck. Oh my God.
You're making a super crazy version of that Invisible Man screenplay book that you talked about last episode of Universal Monsters.
This thing even reads coherently to anybody but me. But yeah, and of course this is all depending on whether or not like any more scripts come my way, because who friggin' knows? Because there's like a handful of like 5 or so things I haven't been able to get.
You're gonna have to patch it. You're gonna have to like recall all the books and then like put in new chapter right at the end of saying like, hey, also this happened, and then re-release it.
No, it's he'll do it like board games. You get the expanded editions.
Right. Oh, he sells just the chapter for
Yeah.
like
Yes,
50
just the
cents.
chapter.
You have to buy it in addition to the book and just tape it onto the back of the book.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what do you think I am, Cats 2019?
DLC.
For $30 extra, you can buy a plastic spine that will attach it all together for you.
Xander, I'm gonna write a sequel to Devil's League that's 1 chapter long, and it's about Waylon coming back and killing everyone else, and it's called Devil's League Coda, or DLC, and then you can just tape that to the back of your copy and shut the fuck up for once. No, I'm kidding. Xander, I love you.
Well, like, I mean, there's one chapter I theoretically could write, but the only place where it is in an archive in Pittsburgh, in a university archive, that doesn't allow copies. So I would have to put money together, take a few days off, fly up there, write the whole fucking thing in the space of like a day while I'm sitting there in the library.
Bruce,
And it's like,
I was there.
do I want to do that?
In December of last year, I wasn't in Pittsburgh, but I think I was. I was in the bottom left of Philadelphia. I think that's where Pittsburgh is. And
No, Pittsburgh is you mean Pennsylvania?
Pennsylvania, yeah. Is that not the same thing?
Yeah, you said Philadelphia. Philadelphia's in the bottom right.
Oh, right. Yeah. Wow. They start with P. I really fucked myself up there. But yeah, bottom left of Pennsylvania. And I was in that town, in that area. We saw a hockey game there and everything. I went to a convention. You should have told me about this. I could have been there and been like, I'm going to take pictures of these script pages for you. But
Get yourself kicked out.
Right? Yeah.
what are they going to do? They're not going to get my phone. I'm too fast. They're librarians. They're like old.
It's gonna be funny, Bruce. You'll finish the book, and right as you're ready to find people to publish it, you're gonna suddenly come into contact with every script you haven't been able to get, and you'll just be like, "Well, damn it!"
Alex Kurtzman shows up at his house,
Hand delivers it
with the Dark Universe box of all the scripts. He's like, Bruce, I gift this to you. You're like, fuck, no.
Dude, that is the dream, right? I write this book, somebody sees it, and they're like, wow, you told this story really well. I'm going to give you the keys to the Dark Universe, but that's not
I mean, yeah, if you don't write about the Dark Universe at all, which you've said you don't want to do, then you could just make another book about that.
That's the plan, is that would be the second book. If I could get more, but I don't have enough yet.
Right. You have quite a few. You have more than anyone I've ever met has.
Yeah, that's for sure.
But the thing is that because this first book is going to be a lot longer, there's a lot more material to cover. I don't want to release a book that's like that and still incomplete.
Right.
Yeah, true.
Right.
That's definitely true. Well, as for me, speaking of things that are almost done, as of today, July 5th, I have one more shoot day for Cold Embrace.
Yes. Hell yeah.
Obviously, there's still a lot of post-production work. A lot of it has been done because I do dailies like that. Not lately. That's just because of burnout. It was actually funny. The last shoot day, I finally felt the big burnout. I finally felt the thing of like, I'm so done with this shit. But we're almost there. We're almost on the tail end. There's just one last shoot night, and that'll be it, which is insane because this has been like 6 months of my life, and I don't know, man. The goal was always to make each one bigger and like more elaborate and stuff, but this has definitely been the biggest where it's like, oh, I didn't think I'd get this far. I didn't think it'd get like this, and I'm just, oh my god, I'm reeling.
Yeah, it is like almost at the end of production where burnout starts to usually hit, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
That's my experience anyway.
Yeah. Post-production, I don't really feel it just because I really enjoy it, but it's also like with post-production, I'm in like full control. Like there's no one stopping me from like working randomly at 2 a.m. at night. Like no one's going to say, you can't work at 2 a.m. at night. Only I can say that. So it's kind of, it's a nice thing. Whereas with production, it's like, okay, well, we have to get these people there and this and that and stuff. So.
And I'm curious, as another short filmmaker, like I kind of used to be, but still somewhat am.
Right.
Every single time I've been in post on a project that I've shot. I go into it headstrong and think I don't need reshoots. I got everything I need. and then I'll get like halfway edited, and I'm like, I need a shot where this dude's hand does this one stupid thing. I need a shot where this guy runs off the bill or something. And at the end of it, I have like I only need like 2 more shoot days. I need to get some cast members back. So I'm wondering, like, did you do the Marvel Studios thing and like pre-plan in reshoots, or are you just going cold turkey and you're just gonna figure it out later?
So that's actually a great question, because I have great examples for this shoot, for this film specifically.
Do you just storyboard the shit out of everything?
Okay, so yeah, so in pre-production, after I write my script and I have my 3 head people, Garrett, Michael, and then my storyboarder Sakata. They all read the script, and once we all agree that it's good, we script lock it. And at that point, then me and Sakata will work tirelessly for days on end, storyboarding the entire script from beginning to end. We do every shot, we do every scene. I have a very strange method. The laptop I have, you can like draw on. So I'll open it up in like a PDF thing with drawing things, and I'll make brackets. So it'd be like this one chunk of script, I'll bracket it out and like write 1. And I'm like, okay, shot 1, we're going to have this happen. And I read out that line of the script, and this is how much is. There's a dialogue shot, then that's shot 2. And I go from there. So yeah, to answer your question, Bruce, I do. I storyboard that whole ass thing out. And it's long, it's tedious, and Cold Embrace I think took 2 or 3 months to do, and that was like working 1 hour nearly every single day, and it takes a long time, but eventually it's worth it. Then on shoot days afterwards, I do dailies, so I'll edit together all the footage that we shot that day, edit it together, and then release that as a scene. And so that actually allows me, Jake, to be able to know, oh, I need this shot, or oh, I need to reshoot this and that. So that saves me, because for a while I used to do the whole thing where it's like, oh, I would just shoot everything and then go in headstrong and edit and stuff. Until I shot Anxiety's Moon, and one of the shoot days we were doing the werewolf the werewolf attack. And Garrett asked me, he's like, oh, I wonder how you're going to do this. I'm so curious. And I was like, oh, well, I do it. My plan was to do it like this. And so I opened the editor and I start throwing in everything together. And he's watching me, and I'm just doing everything. And I put some music in, and then I released it. And I was like, I was so excited because, I'm like making a werewolf movie. I'm like, oh my God, yes. So I was so excited. I was like, well, why not edit everything else I have right now? Fuck it. And so I did that. And then I realized, oh wow, this makes things a lot easier, and now I just edit as I go along, which let me tell you, Jake, it lowers a lot of the process down, and there will be a lot of times where I shoot things and I'll go, no, wait, I need this, or this line delivery was bad, and I've had that happen multiple times. We shot the finale on day 2 of this whole thing. And that was the very first day that all our main 3 actors were acting together for the very first time. So the chemistry wasn't there yet. Everyone was still kind of getting to know each other. I'm not going to spoil what happens in the scene or anything. Jake, you kind of know. I think you read one of the earlier scripts. But, it's a lot of things where it's like, stuff's happening and you're kind of like, you don't know these people very well. And the day after I shot it, I edited it together. I'm watching. I'm like, man, this is rough. We're gonna have to reshoot this. But I planned to reshoot it after we after we had shot everything else, because I was like, I don't want to reshoot it now and get through all this. I want to wait until everyone has full chemistry and stuff, which worked out. That last shoot was what we did, which was funny too, because all my actors ended up telling me they had wished they had a second chance at it. But there was also a couple other shots that we had done that I didn't like. There was a couple takes that I just was like, I was like watching, and it wasn't even like in that first daily. I watched it through and I would go, that delivery seems a little odd. Let me have him redo this real quick. So yeah, no, there was plenty of times, but because I do what I call my dailies, I save myself on having to regroup everyone together. The downside, of course, of that is that sometimes it can fuck with morale, because say you get everything shot for this scene, you're like, okay, we're all done, but then you have to tell your whole team, guys, we got to reshoot this, or guys, we got to get this shot because we forgot about this scene, or something like that. There's a big ugh that you can feel in the hallway.
Yep. Yeah, that's understandable. Yeah. I guess that makes sense for your strategy, because like you shoot once a week, every week, so forth and so forth. So you have 6 days of post you could be doing for every single shoot day. So I guess that you don't have to reshoot it, because you immediately know what you need to redo anyway as soon as you're about to shoot the next one. So that's pretty creative.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to also been working very hard on trying to get a good work-life balance going, because I'm so used to just work for myself that I'm trying to like get myself to break. So my rule has been for this one is that when I make the daily, that's all I work on, and then I continue on and stuff, so that I don't just constantly am working. I have like some kind of rest time, which has been working out so far. But
sure, yeah,
still doing. But yeah, I will be working on a trailer soon, and lots of different things out there.
No need to panic. Could be critical. The odds are against you. Spider-Man faces 20 supervillains so powerful even with the Fantastic Four. His number may be up. Marvel Spider-Man, the video game from Acclaim.
Video games. Bruce, have you been playing video games recently, or any fun stuff?
I mentioned this one in the chat. I started playing the PS2 Ghost Rider game, which is actually pretty decent for like a movie tie-in game. And I was playing it. It's a decent God of War clone. The first level, okay, beat 'em up, good. I get to the second level, which is the motorcycle. The left half of my PS2 controller dies, so the D-pad and the stick don't work, and so the entire time the motorcycle's just going boom to the left into the wall. But if once the new controller gets here, I'll pick that up. I also before my laptop problems happened, I was playing the old Capcom arcade beat 'em up game of The Punisher, which was fun.
Nice.
I bought the Marvel vs. Capcom collection to play that. It was pretty cool.
Nice.
Wow.
Jake, what about you?
Well, if I might comment on that, I played that Ghost Rider game almost 20 years ago now. I have fond memories, and I remember really, really liking it. There's this one creature design. I don't know if you've made it this far before your controller died, Bruce, but they're one of the demons in hell, and they have these like big dagger things coming out of their forearms. Their forearms here, and they're shooting forward, and they like spin and stuff. And that I've always remembered like that design and like their attack pattern and stuff, and I was like, wow, that's like such a cool creative thing, and I haven't really seen that in a lot of other monster media. So that was fun. Motorcycle levels are fun if your controller actually does work, so you should definitely see if you can fix that or whatever. But like it's a really fun game. At the time, I had just watched the Nick Cage movie, and I was like, this movie's like fun, but like not the best thing in the world. And then I played the game, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is kind of what I wanted out of the movie, just more action and more excitement here. So it was great.
Hey, quality from the director of Daredevil.
Yeah, right. My man cannot be stopped.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I do have new games I'm looking forward to, but they're not here yet. We got Silent Hill F in September, I think it's when it's coming out.
Nice.
That looks interesting, and they announced they're remaking the original Silent Hill, which that's a couple years off at least, so that's going to suck waiting for that. It is funny they went, actually, we're going to remake the second game before we do the first one.
Well, I think the second game's more popular than the first one. I'm not too...
Oh, yeah, it is. It is the one people remember the most.
Yeah, so I'm sure it was like, let's make the second game, remake the second game. If that works really well, then let's do everything else. So.
Yep. I myself have not been playing any games. Obviously, I've had no power, but like even before then, I've been working a lot this week. But Xander, you're going to bring up a game in a second here that I'm very excited to talk with you about. So why don't you take it away?
Yeah, I have for the last I guess 2 months, off and on, but very hard in the last month. Been playing and beat Spider-Man 2. I have not just beaten it, I have done everything. I beat all the side quests, did all the collectibles, got all the costumes, unlocked everything, and I have 100% completion. And that today, along with other things that we'll be talking about. But yeah, for once, we'll finally have a nice meaty video game section. I'm here to talk about Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
My God, this game is freaking amazing. Gameplay is insane, and the story I am mixed on so many different levels. On some parts, I find it awesome. On other parts, I'm like kind of mid and confused. I guess I'll start with the biggest thing is that just Jesus Christ, this game is dark.
Yeah.
So
like
many
that.
people get killed.
Woohoo! It's a
Just
party,
like-
man. It's fun.
God damn. Venom, I'm so mixed on. I love the black suit. I love all the stuff where like Peter has it and everything. But I am so tired of this Marvel trend of making hairy Venom for some reason. It's been like it happened in a couple of the TV shows. And like I know one of the comics probably did it, and it's just like at this point I'm just like, why is Marvel obsessed with making Harry Osborn Venom?
I'll say that I'm
just
not really
doesn't
familiar
make
with
sense.
other interpretations that do that. I thought that was more or less unique to this game.
There was an Ultimate Spider-Man show that did it, and then I think
Yeah, that's right. It's one of the cartoons.
yeah, one of the cartoons, and I don't know. It's just like it seemed like a not new thing to me, but I definitely am not a fan of making hairy Venom. I don't know. How do you guys feel about it?
I looked at that in the sense of initially it's like, okay, yeah, that's not really Venom, but there's no Eddie Brock. It's kind of doing it like the quote wrong way. But when you zoom out and look at the story being told, it makes sense because there is no need for this random Eddie Brock character to just show up and have a Venom suit like that. The story is about Peter and Harry at its core. You know, you want to develop Harry as his companion there, and
Yeah.
having him down a separate Goblin path. Well, you'd have to make the villain of the game the Goblin, which you totally could have. But then, what's Venom doing there? You know, it's kind of like Spider-Man 3, where it's like you just shoved him in. So I appreciate that they went that direction with it anyway.
So what you're telling me, Jake, is that what they should have done is add the black suit and then save Venom for the third game, so that he's not just shoved in at the end like the third movie.
Yeah, just like the feature-length films, you could have, had the fourth film about Venom, yeah. But no, if you're going to do that in the game, then you would also need Harry to be like the Goblin as the antagonist with Kraven and stuff like that. But why would Kraven want to hunt the Goblin? That makes no sense. I don't know.
I just feel like the other issue of having Harry as Venom is that the reason why I like Venom, I'm sure a lot of other people like Venom, is because like not only is he this cool creature and everything, but he's also like he's got a personality. Eddie in the symbiote like has that like crazy personality and stuff, and so with Harry you don't really get that. You just kind of get like this kind of jealousy and stuff. And
I
it
thought he
doesn't
was
really
sufficiently
make sense.
crazy, like the whole heal the world aspect. I thought that was pretty well done. But
I mean,
the
that works
crazy...
until he says, we're going to heal the world. By the way, we're calling ourselves Venom. Wait, what?
The crazy symbiote is always going to be Carnage, obviously, which they kind of
Yeah.
teased a little bit at the end there. Who knows if that actually...
I guess that's
pays
going to
off.
be a side... I thought it would be DLC or something, or an after-credits story,
Nope.
but I guess it's going to be the next game?
Maybe.
what-
Who knows?
So it's giving me Arkham City vibes, where they give you like 4 different plot hooks for the sequel at the end.
Also, I haven't played the City That Never Sleeps DLC and stuff, so like...
Oh, I have.
What? Like, did they explain what the hell happened to Yuri? Like she just this whole like Burning Man side story. Like,
Yes.
okay, because this came out of nowhere.
They didn't go into it too much with like her putting on a costume and shit, but the character development to get her that far was there. It was baked in. It was alluded to at least.
Okay,
But no, the DLC was so fun on that first game. But yeah, the second game has like no DLC. I don't know what the fuck they did there, but like
yeah, there's 0.
the first game's DLC was so fun. It had different versions of the goons. So like one of them had a Gatling gun, and like that'd be the guys that some of them would spawn And when they charge up and they're firing, you have to just fucking book it. You can't just tank that. So it's just really fun. It adds a new challenge. I really enjoyed the first game. I love them both. I lean the first game just a little, with the caveat that the Venom powers are sick. So
The Venom powers are so
Yes.
much fun. Oh my god, I feel so bad because I like Miles Morales as a character, but I just love Spider-Man more, or like Peter more. So I just like I it's like every chance it's like, okay, do I want to play as Miles or Spider-Man? I'm like, well, Spider-Man's got the symbiote. Just like,
So
I don't know. It's
Miles Morales. It's funny you mentioned that because I was never gonna buy that Miles Morales game. I ended up doing it because my buddy and I bought our PS5s at the same point in time, like within a few months of each other. And the hot game for that, I think, was Miles. No, I think it was Miles, or Spider-Man 2 wasn't out yet. So anyway,
No.
it was one of the Spider-Man games that was coming out.
Yeah.
And the thing is,
It would have been
it
Miles.
was,
Yeah,
yeah, so it's
Miles.
Miles. Yeah, so Miles was coming out at that time. Now he bought Miles, the normal version, as a super deluxe version that he didn't buy. When we bought our PS5s and set them up independently, we were like, wait a minute, you have in your library a bunch of games that I want, and I have a bunch of games in my library that you want, and they're all digital. So we logged into each other's PS5s and set our games to be played when we're not active online, and our libraries merged. Like, I swear,
What?
dude, again, Xander, all respect to you and your channel. This podcast does not get that many views, so I'm not that concerned about this. I think we just robbed Sony of a bunch of their games. And if anyone finds out about this, it's going to be crazy. But anyway, so what we realized was I got the digital PS5, he got the physical, so we could still play his discs. All my discs are like either already doubled on digital or they're like $2 because they're old enough where I can just get it again forever. It's not a big deal. But Spider-Man PS4 was one of those games where it's like, you got to get the digital version. Fuck you, kid, even though you've beaten it a million times. Okay, great. So what am I going to do? Well, if you get the Miles Morales deluxe version, you can upgrade
Right.
your PS4 copy of Spider-Man PS4 to a PS5 remastered version. He had the normal version, so him and I split the difference of the $10 to upgrade it. We paid $5 each to get the deluxe Spider-Man Miles Morales game, which he bought that I now own on my account. Boom, my game transfers over, and now I have the remastered Spider-Man PS4, which is crazy. So, like, I feel like when the PS5 came out, we just, like, life hacked our whole PS5 situation, and now everything is all hunky-dory.
That's amazing. No, I love that. Yeah, I've played Miles Morales. I 100%ed that game as well. Never even meant to, but it was just like I was just enjoying it so much I ended up doing it. And I definitely, I don't know. There's just like so much to say. I haven't really like talked about it. We talk about movies so much. I haven't really talked about a video game much, but the way I thought the story was gonna go, and I thought this would have been cooler, is that I thought it was going to be that Peter gets the symbiote, you have symbiote shenanigans, and then when they fight Kraven, and there's that point where, like, the symbiote comes up, like they get the symbiote off of Peter, I thought the symbiote was going to go onto Kraven, because what it seemed like was that the symbiote was drawn to Peter because he was about to die, and he was also stronger, and so I figured, I don't know, the thing would like go towards Kraven because Kraven was also pretty strong, and the cancer was killing him anyway. And I thought Kraven was gonna turn into Venom, and that would also explain why Venom was so fucking giant and roided out. But then it just kind of like gets captured, and I was like, "What the hell's going on?"
I think that if they had made Kraven Venom, that would have been more controversial than if they had just done what they did and made Harry Venom.
Yeah.
I think that would have been
I
bigger.
don't know. I think it would have been more interesting because, like, the way they have Kraven set up, he's all about like strength and like trying to do the strongest thing. And like, yeah, he's trying to die and stuff. But they set up like they allude to the cancer and everything. And like, I think there was like a whole ass thing about like Eddie having cancer too. So it would have. I don't know. I think it would have been an interesting like take on it instead of just like having Harry do it, and then you have to rush all the. Because the other thing is that it does kind of feel rushed with like, I don't know, Harry's like dying, and then he like sees the Norman talking about like how Peter's like a son, and then it seemed a little just kind of like randomly thrown in. I don't know. I didn't really feel it. Like, I guess it could have been, but.
I don't think the Venom stuff was rushed, but I will say Norman is barely in the game. that could have been developed more.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like the symbiote stuff itself didn't feel rushed. I just feel like the hairy side of it felt a little rushed. But what I did love was Web of Shadows 2.0 because as a kid, I loved Web of Shadows. I played it on I had the DS version growing up, but I watched all the cutscenes on like YouTube and everything, and I was a huge Web of Shadows fan. So when the symbiote gets like taken off, and then Harry's like, "We're gonna heal the world" and stuff, story things aside, I'm all here for it because all of a sudden I'm fighting symbiotes in New York. There's symbiote nests. I'm like doing all this, and I'm like, we're back in 2000. I don't know when that game came out, 2005 or something. Hold on, let me look it up.
Yep.
I mean, the last Spider-Man game I played before the PS4 one was Ultimate Spider-Man, which was like 05.
Yeah, Web of Shadows was 2008. So yeah, I was like, we're back in 2008, baby. I threw on the classic black suit and went to town. I love that game.
I liked Web of Shadows. I thought it was pretty good. I was more of a Shattered Dimensions fan. I think I've played all the conventional console Spider-Man games as they came out. I've always just bought them.
Played the PS1 game.
Yeah, me too. Me too, dog.
I need to play those ones.
Those are the webs that just go up into infinity in the sky.
Yeah, I remember playing that game. I remember playing the PS1 game as a little kid, and I got to the Carnage boss fight, and I literally stood. I somehow managed to stand in a place where he couldn't hit me, but I could hit him, and I just cheesed him with webs.
Yeah, now we're talking.
Nice.
But no, I liked Spider-Man 2. I think the Venom story works for what they're doing. It wouldn't be the first time an adaptation has changed the identity of a villain.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I think it worked for their story, like their interpretation of it.
Yeah. Although it leaves me wondering what that alleged Venom spin-off game is going to be. But
oh god.
Oh, are they making a Venom spin-off game?
I hope they do. Like, to have Venom only playable for one level that you can't replay is such bullshit.
Yeah, that one level where you play as Venom, holy shit.
and you only have like 2 special moves. There's supposed to be 4.
Yeah, that was a little annoying. I was like, what the because that Kraven fight was only annoying because I had like 2 moves that I could do, and that was it. And meanwhile, Kraven's jumping around.
Bruh, that was badass too, and he bites Kraven's head off. Like, come on.
Oh, dude. Oh my god, when he bit Kraven's head off, I was like, hell yeah.
They are supposed to do both Spider-Man 3 and a Venom game, but I think it's not going to be till after Wolverine.
Okay. That makes sense.
But the one thing I had a question about with Venom in the game is because the symbiote minions he summons that like take over New York, they all have the spirals on their face.
Yeah.
Which
Null.
I've actually read that run of the comic, and the spiral means that those symbiotes are like connected to Null.
I know nothing about Null, so.
Null is basically this weird heavy metal looking dude in like a suit of armor who rides like a symbiote dragon or something like that, and he's basically the god of the symbiotes who created them. He's like a big bad guy.
Oh, okay.
And he and like the spiral means that like he is controlling those symbiotes, which makes me wonder if Venom in this universe is more connected to him than he is in the comics, because Venom isn't.
Right.
In the comic that I read, at least.
Okay. Yeah,
Also, I do want to say it is kind of fun that they it's kind of funny that they do a boss fight where Mary Jane gets taken over by a symbiote because literally right now in the comics, Mary Jane is Venom.
Oh, what the hell?
I'm not reading it. I just see people react to this stuff, and I'm like, that's weird.
That is pretty
I thought
crazy.
it was funny with that because did you guys ever watch the 90s Spider-Man cartoon?
When I was a real little kid.
Oh, okay. So I love that 90s cartoon, and that Mary Jane has this outfit where like she's wearing like a yellow turtleneck sweater and like blue jeans and boots. And so Mary Jane, like halfway, like most of this game, she's wearing this yellow sweater, and stuff. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. It's a reference to the animated show. Turns out wasn't. It was just an excuse to give them the color scheme for Scream. And I was like, well, damn it. But I thought it was funny that it doubled like that.
But no, the only like 90s superhero cartoons I've ever actually gone back and like watched through the whole shows of are Batman and Superman.
You gotta watch the 90s Spider-Man cartoon, man. It's amazing. It's great. But I don't know. I liked all the boss fights. I wasn't here when Venom grew wings. I felt that was a little bit too much, in my opinion. But
I enjoyed
That's in the comic.
did he? He grows wings in the comics? What the fuck?
That's the more recent run that that I was reading, because like there's symbiote dragons, and that means that like the symbiote can grow wings.
Oh, okay. I guess, but we don't have dragons. All right. I'm too much of an old school man for this stuff, I guess. I will say I loved the PS4's black suit, or their Insomniac's black suit was really cool. I liked that it was like mostly classic, but if you look into the detail, they have like the armor bits and stuff, and like the kind of like that was cool. But I as soon as I unlocked the classic black suit, I kind of like stuck to that, because like one of the alternate styles was just like you got like this red and blue hue, and that was straight from the animated show, because it had that red and blue hue, and it looked fantastic. I love that. But I gotta ask you,
Yes, the armor thing is Agent Venom.
Yeah.
That's what that's based on.
yeah, that one, Harry's Agent Venom, I could tell that one, but I just mean like when Peter gets
Yeah.
the black suit, they give you like subtle. There's just like a subtlety to it where it doesn't look just like all black. Like there's like little bits.
Yeah,
to
I liked
like
it because I liked how it actually looked like slimy and goopy on it.
Yeah, I like that. It looked cool.
Yes. All right, real talk though, like what's the best suit now that you've unlocked them all?
Oh, well, the best suit obviously is wait, are we talking about black suit or just regular? Because that's.
I mean, either or.
Of all the unlockables, once I got the Amazing Spider-Man 2 costume, I stuck with that because that's the best movie Spider-Man costume.
Bro, I love that costume. I love the Amazing 2 costume.
I love the classic suit, and then you make it the alternate style where it's instead of the blue, it's the black. So you kind of get that like sort of No Way Home effect. that was my go-to.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty
Okay.
cool. Far From Home, I think you mean.
Yeah, sorry, Far From Home effect.
That's a really good pick. I like the one you guys were just talking about, where it's the black suit for the game, but more fucked up and more venomy. That's kind of like my go-to.
Okay.
I like the inverted, where it's white with black design. That's really cool too. And then, yeah, I think the Amazing 2 suit or the Raimi suit, one of those two movie suits, are just like, oh, my dream. It's the perfect suits.
Raimi black suit, so good.
Raimi Black is crazy. I like Raimi Classic. I wish they had the human spider from Bruce
I
Campbell.
know, right?
Yeah. Yes.
You could have, because what happens is with all these suits, you have 3 variants. I thought they're gonna do Raimi human spider, normal Raimi, black suit Raimi, and then Amazing Spider-Man, the bullshit sunglasses, and then first movie suit, second movie suit. But no, they're all separate things, and they don't have the bullshit costumes. I want the bullshit costumes. God damn it.
I thought it was kind of funny that when you in the unlock order, because I was just doing every mission and stuff as well. I wasn't doing this at first, but after Miles helps Black Cat, my ass was getting kicked, and I was like, okay, well, let me just do a bunch of missions to level up. So then at that point, I was just doing missions as they went along and stuff. So the order of suit level ups, you get the Raimi black suit first, which I thought was hilarious.
Yeah.
Because they knew exactly what people wanted, and I was like,
Of course.
hey.
And I'll tell you what, too. When I played, I did the same thing I did with Spider-Man PS4, where PS4, as you progress the story, sometimes the city changes. So I progressed. I beat the game, but then my New Game Plus, I played until the point where everyone breaks out of prison and is shooting everyone in the city. So you swing around, you got people to fight all the time. I played until that point and just have not progressed the campaign there because I like that version where I'm just swinging around and it's just chaos. And so the version of that for the part 2 is once he's black suited And in the story, he just went to bed, but he's black suiting tonight, but he's also free roaming the open world instead of playing the campaign. So I think he's on his way to go to sleep. That's like the next mission. So all his dialogue is Yuri Lowenthal doing like edgy, like good riddance. I'm going to put some dirt in your eye. And so you fight all these guys, and whenever there's a crime, instead of like, oh, there's people in New York, he says some shit like, they're going to get what's coming to them. And you fucking like beat the shit out of him. And he's like, stay down, bitches, in PG.
I went out my... I got inspired by that, so I went out of my way to keep a save file for that too.
Yes. That's funny. Like, I've got a save file that's my New Game Plus on that, so I never progress the campaign, and I'm doing all the side missions from scratch as that version, which is the best.
That's great. Yeah. My other go-to suit is just the black suit, but like I said, with the red and blue hue to it, I love that one. I just was enamored with it so much.
Yeah.
That's probably the one that I've been rocking more than even just the classic suit.
It's a good one,
what were
too.
you gonna say, Bruce?
I was gonna say one thing with the story I thought was kind of was the fact that like half of all of Spider-Man's villains die off screen.
Yeah,
They get killed by Kraven.
I mean, I like that Kraven killed them. It was dark, but I did kind of want to see that. Like, I had hoped there was gonna be like.
I did
more
notice that a lot of the ones that he was killing are ones that they had done the story of in the first game. So it's not like you missed the opportunity to get them as a,
Yeah.
But
like
that
he
was
killed all the
interesting.
Sinister Six.
Right.
Although I will say it does mean there's less chance of those annoying 2-on-1 fights again.
Oh yeah.
Like fuck you, Scorpion.
Yep.
God, Jesus Christ, yeah, dude, I'm still bewildered because there's so many scenes in this game where I was just like, this is so. The scene that I remember hitting the most was like Kraven. It's after Peter gets stabbed and he's dying, and then Kraven like goes and stabs Connors to become the Lizard, and I'm just sitting there thinking, this is so fucked up. Just. The way Kraven does it, and Connor's like, please don't do this to me. It was just like, Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm.
I was insane with it, but I gotta ask you guys, what are your thoughts on the main advanced suit that they have Peter wear? Because I'm personally not a fan of it.
It was fine.
I changed that shit immediately.
I like it in the sense of like it's the exact classic suit. Really, they just changed the spider being a big white spider, but all it does is just distinguish Insomniac's version. So when you watch Across the Spider-Verse and you're looking at this ocean of Spider-Man, you're like, that's Insomniac's. That's all it is.
I don't know. I think it's too much. In PS4 and in this one, I went straight to the classic suit as soon as I could because I just thought it looked so good in the game.
I appreciate that they let you change it pretty much after the very first level. They're like, do whatever you want, man.
Yeah. I was so happy. I was like, oh, okay, thank God. Cool.
Yeah.
I remember in Arkham City, I almost, as soon as I got it, I changed into the Nightfall suit.
That was a good suit, too. Love that suit.
I still need to play the Batman games. I actually bought them all recently, so...
How have
I
you
bought
not?
the PS... I never had a PlayStation growing up. I don't know what to tell you, man.
Did you get Origins?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I got all of them on PS3 because I bought a PS3 recently, and my friend Michael told me
good.
don't buy the remasters. The shading looks bad or something like that.
Yeah, I've been hearing mixed things about the remasters.
You don't need. You could just skip Origins if you want. There's a trilogy, and then Origins is like the midway spin-off that a different studio made. It's like a whole thing.
It's better than Night.
Is Origins the one where it takes place on Christmas Eve and Alfred keeps trying to get him to have that Christmas ham?
Yes.
Among many things, yes, that is in fact part of it.
I liked Origins more than Night because I found a lot of Night to be tedious.
Oh, I like Night quite a bit. City's the best, obviously.
I like Night. I like Night, but there was a lot of stuff in that game.
I thought Night was way better than Origins. The fact that they could counter your counters really pissed me off at a certain point. It made the game less fun.
But yeah, I did want to say that the more enraged symbiote suit, I wasn't really a big fan of. I don't know. It just like.
Love it.
I'm more of a simple guy when it comes to the suits. I don't need like too much with it, but I do see the appeal with it. I have to ask though, because I feel like the combat in this game is a bit more fluid than the first one. Because I recently picked up on Steam the first game, the remastered version for like $30, and so I was playing on my Steam Deck just to like mess around. and the combat feels like incredibly different. But I feel like I prefer the combat in 2, which I guess is a good thing because it's a sequel. But the biggest thing I have to ask is, as cool as the web wings are, what do you guys feel about? How did you guys feel about the web wings?
Loved them. I thought it was the next logical step with web swinging, because web swinging has it's one of those things where it's PS2 Spider-Man 2 innovated web swinging, and it was like the first game to really, oh my god, you can it's, if you learn how to play it really well, you can be Spider-Man in the game. And this game is the Spider-Man PS4 was the next logical extension of that, where you can do even more tricks. I thought, where do you go from PS4 Spider-Man? Oh, okay. Let's give him that thing that canon he does have, which are web wings in a lot of versions, and let's do that in a way that feels fluid and feels like Spider-Man would. So I thought that was really cool.
I liked them because it added an extra step to traversal where you could go super fast if you needed to. So that you're not just constantly swinging everywhere across this giant map. I actually really liked catching the updraft and taking the shot.
I like how the
cool.
weather gods, fucking Thor and Zeus, are all just like, wind will blow whatever you want it to. If you have to go left, the wind will all blow left for you. Don't worry.
Bruh, how cool would it be if they made a Thor game on this level?
You just pan
cool.
up when you're gliding, and Thor is just moving the hammer so that you can zoom the city.
Give me a new Thor game. Give me a Punisher game.
The last hero that I think
Give me a new
really
Ghost.
needs a game is Flash. Like a nice, proper AAA game.
Yes, Wonder Woman too, but her game got canceled.
Oh, damn, that sucks. Yeah, I like the web wings, but at a certain point at the end of it, I have to ask, myself, I was just like, has this turned from, a web swinging game to just, a gliding game? Because, one of the biggest cool things about, the Spider-Man games is that you're web swinging around, so it's like a web swing simulator, but I will say it does kind of feel like the web wings are so fun and so good that I almost don't web swing as much as I'm web gliding. I don't know about you guys.
I incorporate them. I think that they work great in their own ways. So if you want to get somewhere really fast with the thing, that's great. But if you got to make a sharp turn, nothing beats a good fucking web swing, you know.
That's fair,
yeah. I used them both. I mainly used the web wings if I was going a big distance.
And I like how no matter what situation you're in, just web zip to the next point and launch, and then you figure it out.
True.
Oh yeah, that is always fun.
Yeah. I did experience a number of glitches with this game, which I personally am very critical because I know this game was $70, and my whole thing with games that cost more, or the more expensive a game, the more critical I'm going to be. One of the biggest glitches that I noticed was that it was on the second half of the game. I don't know if you guys ever experienced this, but I felt like every time there was an overworld crime thing that happened, or where you had save someone or battle something, it would pop up within 500 meters, and if I didn't book it immediately as it popped up, that bitch would disappear. And I'd go is where it's it'd be a couple seconds because I would find one of those little tech gadget things, and so I'd pick it up and I'm like, okay, let me get there. I would get to the spot 10 meters away. I could see the smoke billowing, and then it would all just despawn.
Yeah.
Did that ever happen to you guys?
On occasion, yeah. You gotta catch them. Sometimes if 30 seconds go by, it's just gone. The game thinks you don't. Okay, you'll let those people die, fuckface. We'll just skip it.
Yeah, I think that's by design. I don't think that's a glitch.
I don't know.
Now, I think I ran into a couple of minor glitches, but nothing that really stuck out.
I wish that it was structured, because I think it's on purpose. I don't think it's a glitch. I'm with Bruce. But I wish they had designed it so that if I am either stationary or actively heading to it, it stays. If I choose to go the other direction, it can vanish from me, because the game knows that I don't want to do
That's
it.
A better
That's what I wish
See,
happened.
At least it doesn't. At least the game doesn't count that against you and gives you asshole.
Yeah, that. I'm glad about
that.
that. Okay, if not a glitch, then I'm just saying that was probably the worst part about the game. Drop everything else, story or anything. Fucking hated that shit, because there were so many times where I would just because I'd be looking for a chest and I'd be like, okay, well let me just grab this real quick and go, and then it would disappear. And I was like, okay, fine, it's my fault for not going. But then again, I would be seeing the smoke billow, and it goes away, and I'm 10 feet. I'm literally right there. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm trying to be a hero right now. why are you doing this to me, game? It was just so fucking annoying.
I can't tell you the amount of times I responded to those things and I fucking died trying to fight people.
Yeah, oh my god. PS4 I had a harder time with, but I think that's just because when I played PS4, I was ignoring a lot of the side stuff and like not really leveling up a lot. I was just going from mission to mission. But this one I was really taking my time. My rule was, I don't know how you guys are with the little like overworld crimes, was at least until they stopped despawning for me in the second half of the game. My rule was, if I'm swinging around and one of them shows up, I gotta be Spider-Man. I gotta work the city. I don't know if you guys are the same way.
Well, I will point out, Bruce, you said that like you're glad it doesn't give you asshole points. I wish that in my Spider-Man 3 Emo Peter version of the game that I play, that they did in fact give you asshole points when you skipped one. You're just like, bad Spider-Man, fuck you, thumbs down.
You just get a quick podcast to Jameson going, Spider-Man, let these guys die. Fuck it.
And then I can call in and be like, yeah, you're right. Fuck you. Fuck.
Yeah.
Good riddance.
But the way I approach it is that if they were like in my direct path, it's like 50-50, I'll do it, maybe I won't. But if I'm like in the middle of something, I'm focused on my missions because this game's fucking long. Okay, so I want to say least favorite side missions.
The one where you're chasing the car. Hate those. No. The one where you gotta bring the guy to the hospital. I don't give a shit about this fucking guy. Like, I just want to fight the bad guys and dip. That's my whole situation. Some missions, there have been some missions, mostly as Emo Peter, where I would go to the hospital. The dude's gotta be brought to the hospital. I show up, beat all the bad guys to Kingdom Come, and then like just web the dying guy in the face and just swing away. I don't even get points for the mission because I didn't complete it. It just feels better that way.
What about you, Bruce?
Mine was actually like a side quest line.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The ones where you have to chase those fucking drones.
I don't mind those.
I actually had fun with those. Those were fun.
I had fun with some of them, but there was a handful where it took me forever to get them. And I'm like, fuck.
Did you play the drone missions as Miles or as Peter more?
Peter.
I think I did it more as Peter.
Oh, really? Okay. I did it mostly as Miles.
I think I did them when I would run into them. Some of them were Miles, but I think it was mostly Peter.
I almost never ran Miles from the open world. You only have to when you do like the Prowler side stuff, which is kind of interesting. But like, I'm so, because Peter has the cooler suits. I'm used to Peter. I played a whole fucking game full of Peter, so like Miles is slightly different. And like Miles, I've found that when he traverses, he's just a bit more goofy. You know, he's just a bit more like and falling around and is doing weird flips and shit. And that's all well and good, but like I like Peter.
I mean, I like Miles, but the thing with me is that if I'm going to play a Spider-Man game, I want to play Peter as much as I can. Now, if there were Miles missions that were going on, I'd do those. Those were good. Also, I just wish Miles Morales would come up with his own fucking superhero name, so you don't have two Spider-Mans running around.
It's the Spider-Man.
Yeah, even Peter Parker's fucking clone has his own superhero name.
Right, Scarlet Spider. That's
yeah,
right. Oh,
now we're talking.
Yeah.
Look at my muscles.
I love the Scarlet Spider outfit. That's one of my favorite. That's one of my favorite side ones to run. But
in terms of like 90s edgy redesigns, that's one of the best ones because it's just dude got himself a Spider-Man costume, kept all the red, none of the blue, and put a coat on.
There's something about hoodies in Spider-Man that looks so cool. But yeah, my least favorite, if this was Spider-Man PS4, the least favorite overworld crimes would be like the car chases, because I could never get the fucking like to stop it to work, and so I'd always fail.
Oh, I turned off QuickTime events so fast. I was so done with that.
Well, you can turn off QuickTime events, but also there's a setting that makes it so that just the car missions or something, they auto lock on, and then you'll auto beat them. So I had that one turned on to just auto because I couldn't do it anymore.
I had no idea that was.
When I hit settings, I customized the fuck out of the setting. You can do a lot of different things with the customization, which is good. I like it. A lot of it's in accessibility, though. That's probably why if you didn't notice it.
Well, with the first Spider-Man PS4 game, they gave separate trophies if you beat it on Ultimate or whatever. With Spider-Man PS5, Spider-Man 2, just weird to talk about. When Spider-Man 2 comes out, the only trophy you get for replaying it is the fact that you played New Game Plus. That's it. You can do it at like
Now,
little
wait.
easy
Is
loser levels or whatever.
But is it playing New Game Plus, like just playing, or I think you have to play through the whole game?
Yeah, you
again
have to
on
beat New Game,
yeah.
the campaign anyway of New Game Plus, not necessarily 100% everything.
Yeah, because I looked at because I don't usually trophy hunt, but I looked and I only have like 3 trophies that I have to do since I've done everything, and it's literally just replay on New Game Plus and a couple others.
Yeah, if I'm in love with the game, I'll trophy hunt, but the game really has to like do that for me, you know.
Did you?
Yeah, I'll trophy hunt in games I really like, but even then, there's some trophies I look at them and I'm like, it's not worth the headache trying to do that.
I'm not really, because again, I've just grown up with only Nintendo, so I never like hit that like trophy thing. But I'm gonna probably understand this one because it's like 5 different things I gotta do, like visit Aunt May's grave and 2 others. So I'm like, okay, fine, fuck it.
Yep.
The only one I ever did that for on purpose was that on Steam, I had Lego Jurassic World, and I was like, fuck it, I'll see what the whole hype is about achievement hunting. So that's the one I was doing for.
There's a few games on PlayStation I've got a platinum in. Skyrim, I got 100% trophies, and then they fucking released DLC, and my percentage went down to like 69. And I'm like,
Nice.
fuck, and I never did it.
I'll tell you what though, there were a bunch of games in my old library, and actually there were games that like when our libraries merged, there were a bunch of games that like I hadn't played in like 10, 15, 20 years, but it saves my progress because I've always had a PlayStation, whether it's a 3 or a 4 or whatever. I've always had that, and I've always had a PS account, like a PS Store account. So each game has their own set of trophies, even if they're old. And a lot of them I'll have like all but 3 trophies on this old ass game, and I'm like, well, I got an hour or 2. Let's fire this bitch up, and I'll go get like the last couple trophies, and then I have 100% of the whole game, which is kind of dope because like
Nice.
that's a 20-year tenure of me getting all the trophies for this game. It's kind of funny.
The easiest platinum I ever got, and it's because it's the only Telltale game I ever played, was The Walking Dead Season 1. You literally just have to play the game, and you get a platinum.
Nice. Yeah, but to answer your question, I actually think the side quests that I hated that I really disliked was the Prowler ones, because it just was getting annoying trying to find the specific spot they wanted me to go to sometimes, and I just be like, I just want to get on, man.
Yeah.
I thought they were annoying because I had to be Miles at all.
I like Miles. I think he's fun. I don't know.
Nah, he's all right. I'm dogging on him, but he's all right. He's not bad.
That's why Beyond the Spider-Verse is taking so long. He's looking for all these Prowler boxes.
Nice.
No wonder.
Yeah, but the Overstreet crimes, I think the real one that I just found kind of like annoying for me is just the ones where like a deal would be going on or something like that. Because I want to go stealth, but wherever these deal ones spawn, there's no way to like stealth attack. So it just ends up feeling like you're like, okay, hit one guy and then just beat up the rest. And it's like, okay, well, that sucks. But I don't know, what was the favorite moment from the game for you guys?
Favorite moment from the game?
Oh, God.
Wow. Are we talking like story wise or like favorite thing to do?
Let's do both.
Okay. Bruce, you got any that come to mind immediately?
Mine is the fight between Miles and Symbiote
Yeah, that's
Peter.
good.
Ooh,
Where you
that's
have to
a
hit
good
the
one.
bell.
Real good.
That was
real
good.
It's really fun and unexpected because usually Miles isn't a part of the symbiote stories from other media, so it's kind of a unique thing to
Yeah,
this
this
game.
was new.
Yeah,
so.
I like that a lot. Favorite moment in the story, I would probably say. Well, I'm gonna start with my joke answer. In Spider-Man PS4, the first game, when you play New Game Plus, you can choose your costumes, and the last costume you unlock is Peter in his underwear, if I remember correctly.
Right, yeah.
And so there's this one scene, in the context of the story, Peter is having like dinner with MJ, but then like she turns and he's like in his Spider-Man outfit and he's about to do like
Right.
stuff. And so if you replay that and put the underwear suit on, she turns, she's like, Peter, what are you doing wearing that? And he's just like, nothing. I was just gonna run over there and I was gonna save the day. She's like, I get that, but and like the conversation has a totally different understanding with that context now. But no, so sorry. In the new game, God, almost anything with Kraven. I think the revelation that Kraven was dying and really wanted the Venom, like an opponent strong enough to kill him, because nobody has, because he's just the top dog. I'm gonna say the Kraven Venom fight for that reason, for the story moment that really got me the most.
Yeah,
that was
that
really
was
great.
Yeah, that was cool. For me, the favorite story moment is actually, I feel like it's a toss up, because I really loved when Spider-Man fought Lizard, and just like that whole like insane fight, because like it goes like everywhere, and you're also fighting the Kraven people, and it's just like fucking, and like that one part where like all the tendrils are coming out, and he's just trying to like get the guy down. It was pretty cool. And then I also just, because I'm a huge fan of when Spider-Man is just like kind of pushed to his limit with like something, and just like goes fuck it. So I did love the Black Suit versus Kraven fight, just with Spidey just going, "You fucking want me, fine," and just like beats the shit out of him.
So fun.
Yeah.
Yep. For it. All right, but favorite thing to do now
In the game,
My favorite thing to do is to grab guys from far away and stick them to the top of a pole.
yeah, with your tentacle arms. My answer was gonna be any of those 4 special moves with your tentacles, but if I had to pick one of those, I'd probably pick the tentacles go all out, and like you're one of those pin cushion balls that you squeeze. And everyone goes flying. Love that move. It's just a great, like, if you're in combat and you're ever overwhelmed and you don't know what to do, you just need 2 seconds to think. Just hit that move, everyone goes flying, and you're like, all right, now I can focus.
I think my favorite of those ones was the one where like you, like when you upgrade it, you can get up to like 6 people at the same time or something like that.
Yeah,
I love doing
the big grabby boy. Yep.
Yeah, the grabby boy. But I actually, one of my favorite things, and this is the same thing in the original, but I guess to update to 2, it's like when you hit both thumbsticks, and then you can just like go insane mode, and you're just like bam 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 boom. I love that, and I love to mix that with having 3 finishers together, and so then you just go finisher, and then you can like keep pressing it, so you'll go like finisher, and then it'll just like swing into the next finisher, and then it'll swing into I don't know, it just looks cinematically really cool.
There's videos on YouTube of like people that just keep hitting the same guy, because if you keep hitting him, you cancel what the finisher would have been, and there's like 7-8 minute clips of you fighting one guy in the air and keep launching him, pulling it back, launching him, and there's like a caption in like a meme version, which is like, "Spider-Man, I was just selling drugs to pay for my daughter's cancer." It's like hilarious. So
I watched one and I thought in my head, I'm like, well, he shot at May. What did he think was going to happen?
You don't fuck with that.
It is funny, though, because I know how, like, you mentioned, you're like, well, you like playing Peter more. I love playing Peter, but I will say Miles, I feel like, has the better, like, attack. I don't know, like something about that. His finisher attack where he just goes, bam, with the electricity was so good. Like, that was my, like, I need a second to think. Let me just go, bam. And then it was cool, because you could upgrade it where when you did it, it auto refills all your finishers, all your moves. So I would just like use everything and then go bam, and then have everything back again. It was really good. So
understandable.
Yeah.
But I think we've talked about Spider-Man for as much as we can. So obviously we have to go into it is time for that special moment we like to talk about. Popcorn Bucket Haul Time.
Do you remember popcorn for you? With Jiffy Pop and Jiffy Pop was so much fun to do. Pop, pop, Jiffy Pop, a microwave popcorn can. Pop, pop, Jiffy Pop, as good as it did back then.
If you thought no microwave popcorn could taste as good as the stovetop Jiffy Pop you loved as a kid, try microwave Jiffy Pop.
Pop, pop, Jiffy Pop, a microwave popcorn can. Taste as good as it did back then.
Okay, I'm gonna take a nap.
Well, it's funny because we always do this as a segment of a audio medium of a podcast, so I have to verbally describe what I have. But
right? Yeah.
Xander and I got the same bucket. We both saw Jurassic World Rebirth, which is going to be a bulk of the topic today, even though we've gone for over an hour so far.
Yeah.
I know, right? Yeah. This will be the next hour.
Yeah, literally. This is the dopest bucket that I've seen, because I have the Dominion bucket right back there, and I got that signed by Bryce Dallas Howard. And that bucket does not look as cool as this.
It really doesn't. This one looks awesome.
Like, you got all the major, like, new species of dinosaurs, because there's, like, mutagens and stuff, and they're all around the bucket. Of course, the classic T-Rex there as well. And they're all, like, beveled and embossed with their, like, names and shit. And it just looks cool. And if you look inside, the bottom is just the Jurassic Park logo. And I don't know. I think it's so cool. The color design is awesome. The white pop with the black lettering on everything is just... It really sticks out just visually. So once I put it in the display case, I want to put it inside, because inside is dark if the lights are off, and this will still be visible because it's just... It pops so good.
Oh, yeah, no. I really like... Is this the same... Because I haven't had a chance to compare. Is this the same size as the Dominion bucket, or is the Dominion bucket still bigger?
The Dominion, yeah, it is more or less exactly the same, unless one's like an inch different or something.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Okay, yeah. No, I really like this bucket. I agree. Love it. I love how the Spino looks on this, because the Spinosaurus is my favorite dino.
Yeah.
To begin with. But, the other one that you could get at AMC was a giant Tyrannosaurus footprint that I'll put on screen, and that was $24. Which honestly, I'm a little shocked. I would have thought they would have like charged like $50 for this thing or something, but they didn't.
It's just a hunk of plastic.
I mean, it is just... Yeah, it's just a flat hunk of plastic. There's nothing in it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a hunk of plastic. The fucking gigantus popcorn head is $80. So
No, the Galactus popcorn head has like a lot inside and going on. But either way, more importantly, before we recorded,
You gotta fit a planet in there for him to eat.
yeah, he gets hungry, man. No, before we recorded, we actually talked about this a little bit, but I had seen the footprint plastic thing, and I was like, no matter if I want it or not, there's no chance on God's green earth that I am going to fit that fucker in my display case. It's just no possible way. So I may as well just
have
get
it
the
on
bucket.
top.
I've been debating selling everything that isn't a bucket in my... So, like, all the cups and all, like, the materials and stuff, and just keeping the buckets themselves, just to make more room. Just so I can... And also get more money to funnel into more buckets. So...
I actually have two old fucking theater cups, like special theater cups.
Oh, which ones?
One is for Winter Soldier,
Oh, nice.
and the other one is for Amazing Spider-Man 2.
One of those movies is great.
You know, Jake, all I'm saying is that you bought the freaking Captain America shield. You could have fit the footprint up there on top with the helmets and stuff.
No way, because the shield, like, the big part is on top. The big part of the foot is all on the bottom. I've thought about this. I'm telling you, there's just no way. There's just no way.
Okay, all right.
The other. I did at one point have a cup for one of the Hobbit movies, but I don't know what happened to that.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah.
Also, the weirdest tie-in thing I got at a movie theater is I went to the 2-year anniversary screening of Mandy that they were doing at the Alamo Draft House when I had one near me, and as part of the screening, they gave you a complimentary box of Cheddar Goblin macaroni and cheese.
That's awesome.
That's funny.
I don't know what happened to that. It's somewhat. I think it got lost.
The other things I got was the AMC has been doing this thing where like they've been making like 3D special cups. So I got the one that was for this one, which was the cup was the T-Rex. So you have the T-Rex eye and then the teeth, and it's all rubberized and everything. So I bought that, which was really cool. And then because I went to the midnight release, they gave us these little like badge.
Oh, that's so cool.
Wait,
really that's
cool.
dope.
Yeah.
Oh, it is cool.
I didn't even know it. They were just like, "Here, thanks for seeing the midnight show." And I was like, "Oh, yeah."
Oh, that's so sick.
It's funny because I went to the midnight showing and the movie ran from like 12 and we didn't get out till like 2:30ish or something. And I had picked up shifts I've been picking up shifts that are 2 a.m. to 12 p.m. And I didn't realize that at the time it would conflict with the movie because I had like purchased the ticket so long ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to tell my boss, I'm like, so I'm going to make it, but I'm just going to be like a little late. And they're like, okay, yeah, that's fine. And so the theater was 8 minutes away. So I literally, as soon as the credits rolled up, I had to book it from the theater back to my house, run in, and then get everything set up for my job.
That's funny. That's crazy.
It was pretty exhilarating.
Something big is coming to McDonald's. Something of such enormous proportions. It could only be called the Jurassic Park Extra Value Meal.
Okay, let's eat.
An enormously juicy triple cheeseburger with fries and a medium drink in one of 6 free Jurassic Park collector cups. The Jurassic Park Extra Value Meal. A dino-sized value for a dino-sized appetite.
Hey, where's mine?
What you want is what you get at McDonald's today.
All right.
Anyways, movies we have seen. Obviously, the big one will be saved for the end. But any other films we've watched?
So these past like 2 or 3 days, when I haven't had power or so, I've been charging my devices through other means. I have a solar battery, and my neighbor has a generator. So I've just been on my laptop, my iPad, just fucking around, and I have been watching a ton of old movies. So I don't know if that's necessarily the medium to talk about them, but like,
Oh yeah, no, go for it.
I've watched Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow for the first time. That was pretty good, pretty fun one. I watched.
I saw that one come
Yeah,
out.
I had never seen it before. I watched The Parallax View from like the 70s. It was like one of the. Now I know it's one of the best like political thrillers ever. It's like what all of them take from.
You need to tell Ian it's a secret Green Lantern.
Exactly. And then I watched Doubt, which is this like mid 2000s movie.
Oh, that's
yeah,
good.
you have heard of it. The acting is
Yeah, I've seen it,
unbelievably
yeah.
good. Like wow, some of the best acting of all time. But yeah, I watched a ton of old movies and stuff. And I caught up on my old queue.
Nice.
I still have like 200
What
movies
about
left in it, but whatever.
What about yourself, Bruce? What do you got?
Well, I got 2 things I've kind of been doing. I'm on a different Discord server. There's a weekly movie club, which we've been doing. We'll do a free month where we pick something random, and then we'll do a theme month where we pick stuff. And the theme currently is Alfred Hitchcock.
Right.
So we've done North by Northwest. My pick was Lifeboat, which is an underseen one,
Yes.
which is pretty good. And we just did. There was a funny mix-up because we were doing Rear Window, but the person who picked it, the only version they had was the remake with Christopher Reeve. And not to confess anything, but I ran out of time and I didn't watch that one, so I just watched the original and just nodded along with the conversation.
Nice.
Love it.
Lifeboat is my favorite Hitchcock, and it's probably the least Hitchcocky of all of his stuff.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
I like it.
My favorite is Rope. I love Rope. That's my favorite.
Rope is great. That's one of my other ones, and it's also a least Hitchcocky one.
Rope's really good. It's hard to pick a favorite because there's a lot of really good ones in there. There's a bunch I still need to see. I really liked Vertigo when I saw it.
Vertigo's great. Yeah.
Vertigo's good.
Well, he's one of those filmmakers where I would do like a marathon, but he made so many movies. It's like I'll never be able to see them all, and actually I will never be able to see them all because there's like 4 of them that are lost.
Damn. Yeah, I know, like, I remember I've walked through, like, stores before, back when stores sold movies, and there was, like, the Hitchcock collection, and it's this giant-ass box, and you turn around, and it's literally like a fucking glossary index of movies, and you're like, what the fuck?
The other thing I'm doing is there's a podcast I listen to called Blank Check where they go through director filmographies once a week.
Ooh.
And the series that's coming up I believe it's like a week from tomorrow, is they're starting the Coen brothers. And so I've been watching / rewatching all their movies and like binging to get ahead, because actually trying to catch up and watch them week to week can feel like more of a grind sometimes.
Yep.
So that's why I'm doing this. There's some first time watches and quite a few rewatches in here.
Cool.
I have watched every Hitchcock film that's been nominated for Best Director. That's kind of how I parse it down. And plus the ones I've already seen. So I've seen Rebecca because of the Best Pictures, but also Lifeboat, Spellbound, Rear Window, Psycho. And then I watched some other ones like The Birds and North by Northwest, which is like a diet James Bond movie, which is kind of interesting.
North by Northwest is so fun.
It's great.
I enjoyed it.
It's great.
It was funny when I watched it. My partner had to watch it for a class he was doing, and he was bored out of his mind. But I was enjoying it. And he's like, I don't understand what you see in this film.
I love that movie. My favorite scene is the auction house.
My favorite scene from North by Northwest is when they're in the elevator and he's with his mom, and he's like, "This man's gonna kill me," and she looks over to him. And he's like, "Are you trying to kill my son?"
And then he ditches his mom with the assassin.
Yeah.
For me, like with Hitchcock, not that we're straying too far from our subject here, but like my whole thing is like the ones that are more Hitchcockian, like with his tropes and conventions, I like least. The ones that are more unique, I like the most. Like when I was watching like Spellbound and Shadow of a Doubt, all back to back to back, and Dial M for Murder, and like these movies aren't bad, but like I'm like, yeah, I get it. Of course, there's gonna be like the love interest, just like the Universal Monsters. You meet in 2 days, you fall in love, and that's it. But at this time, there's a spy twist. And then, like, the worst thing ever is, like, at the last, like, 60 seconds of the movie, one character just explains the whole twist, revelation, plot, and then the end. And I'm like, come on. Like, I get that, like, of the time, but, like, they all kind of do this.
I'm not going to lie. I have a special place in my heart for Dial M for Murder, personally.
I like that one. That's one of the better, like, conventional ones that he made.
That one's amazing. So good.
Have you seen Notorious?
I haven't seen that one yet, no.
Yes, remind me what it was about, but I did watch it.
That's the one where Cary Grant is a secret agent who recruits Ingrid Bergman to spy on Claude Rains.
Yes, yes, I did.
Who is like...
Sorry, no,
Yes, he's a Nazi hiding in South America who is doing something. I'll let you figure out what it is when you see it.
Yes, I mixed that one up with the Cary Grant Hitchcock one where she thinks that he's going to kill her and he may or may not kill her over the course of the movie, which I think is Shadow of a Doubt. But you see what I mean, where like they're all very similar territory. Like, I don't know.
That's fair.
Notorious is the one where multiple scenes were ripped off in the terrible Mission Impossible movie.
Yes, you're so right, though. Oh, man.
As for me, me and my partner went to the Egyptian theater and we got to see Peter Jackson's King Kong. So he'd never seen it before, so he got to see it in theaters, and I had seen it in theaters, when I was a kid, but I got to see it again. That was great. God, 3 hours though. That is a journey and is a half.
Was it the extended cut?
No, it wasn't the extended cut. There was no river raft.
Oh,
scene.
sad.
But it's still a long movie, and it was so funny because when we got out of it, he went, I thought after they got caught, I wasn't expecting them to just cut to New York. I thought it was going to be more of a hassle getting this guy back. And I just laughed at the thought of just like getting a monkey all the way to New York. What a hassle.
Yeah, I've seen Friends. It's not easy to have a monkey.
Yeah.
It's the same thing they did in the original movie where they just glossed over.
Yeah. Nothing happened. Nothing went wrong. Yeah, but I like that movie. It's, oh my God, it's such a journey, because it's so funny because by the end of it, there's a sunrise going on, and it ends on a mid morning, and that's how it feels. You feel like you pulled an all nighter by the end of it. But I enjoyed it, and then obviously every 4th of July we all watch Jaws. That's my mom's favorite movie of all time. So. Oh, we rewatched that one.
Xander, to circle back to the previous topic, I got the Jaws bucket finally. It's
not.
You
got the head?
Yet. Yeah, I got the head. Big old jaw.
Nice.
And it's with like 3 or 4 other new buckets of other things that like I haven't had time to install into the display case yet. I might do that tonight after this.
Trailer for the Jaws.
I got it too.
From the Rebirth.
IMAX.
I also got the weird Superman trailer where it's Lex Luthor being a dick. The trailer.
I got that. I got that Jaws trailer too. I'm excited. And then also apparently Regal's going to be selling the
Superman,
the yellow barrels.
Okay.
As a Jaws popcorn bucket, and I might have to get that. So.
You gotta get 3 of those because not with 3.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I do. I gotta drop 500.
The next thing I'm doing at Regal Cinemas is
Jesus
buying
Christ.
the fucking Superman bucket with the lasering the popcorn. That's gonna be the next thing I have to do there.
Oh, I have no idea about that, but I'm so glad I'm not a Superman fan, so that I can just go in, watch the movie, and be fine. I don't have to drop money on anything. Just be.
Yeah, but some of the buckets are so good. There's like 6 different buckets, man.
Low-key excited for that movie.
Man, so excited.
I'm excited. It looks good.
I really hope we get a great Superman and a great Fantastic Four in this.
We will. I believe we will. It really looks like we will. But yeah.
I listen. I'm sorry. I just Pedro Pascal with stretchy arms does not look good. It just looks too goofy. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, he's better than the Multiverse of Madness Reed Richards so far.
Fair.
Yes, person I am fighting. I'm going to tell you what our next move is going to be.
But the other movies I've been watching, Jurassic Park.
Oh my
So,
God, we're finally here.
Obviously, Rebirth came out, but I feel like we did with Indiana Jones, we should be ranking all 7 films.
Now, I will say I have rewatched the original 3 recently.
I did too, actually.
I had not gotten around to rewatching the Worlds. I've only seen those once.
I have rewatched the world. I've rewatched all of them multiple times. For context, audience, ladies and gentlemen, I am an insane Jurassic Park fan. It's something that me and my mom are huge fans of together. We've watched the movie so many times I can quote it word for word as the movie goes by. And it's something me and my mom have bonded over. So I have a huge, deep, nostalgic, personal attachment that will blind my judgment of all these films from beginning to end.
And completely coincidentally, I picked up the audiobooks of the 2 novels and I listened to those.
Oh, nice. I've listened to the audiobook of the first one. I still need to listen to the second one. I haven't yet. But I hear it's so good.
It's really funny because they're both read by the same guy, but I feel like they must have recorded Lost World like a long time ago because his voice sounds way different.
What about you, Jake? Do you have a personal what's your experience with the Jurassic Park franchise? Did you rewatch anything?
I didn't rewatch anything, no, but my experience is that the first Jurassic Park is a brilliant film, and I am one of the only people in the world who thinks the first Jurassic World is an amazing, really well done, thematically relevant film for 2015. And I think that's the only other movie that gets close to the original. And everything else is either mid or garbage.
Bro's about to lose that title.
Yeah.
I sort of feel that way a little bit too, but I'm more like the sequels are like most of the sequels to me are like either good-ish or they're okay.
Okay.
And then Dominion is, but we'll get there.
Okay. So the first Jurassic Park. I mean, what can be said about it? Is there even really reason? I mean, movie's a complete masterpiece. One of the best themes of all time. Started the CGI craze. I mean, I think we can all agree Jurassic Park 1 is the number 1 in the list of all films.
Yes,
Are we all in
that's
agreement?
pretty fair to say.
Oh yeah, if I do my off the cuff ranking at the end, of course that's going to be number 1.
Okay, yeah, no. So, hold on. I actually have to pull up my list for the Jurassic Park films. I think I have a list for it. Let's see. Yeah. No, wait. What? No. Oh, here it is. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, first Jurassic Park. Lost World. This one, over the years, has seemed divisive, but I'll start this off. Personally, I like it. I find it to be a great time if you look at it strictly as a dark comedy. Like, this movie is funny as hell. There are so many comedic moments and stuff. I don't know. I just have a great time. And you can't beat that end with the San Diego chase and that car and Ian Malcolm. I mean, it's so much fun. It's a great time.
Park and World are 1 and 2, and then Lost World is number 3. But the divide between 2 and 3 is like pretty substantial. Like I like what this movie does. I think Spielberg came back for this one, I believe, and that really shows in terms of like
the only one.
The sequences and the stunts, like the glass scene where they're about to fall into the abyss and they're hanging on that cliff. That's like that whole sequence is just beautiful. But it also makes some really dumb decisions. Having the Spinosaurus just flat out murder the T-Rex so early on is like
That's
that's 3. You're thinking about 3.
That's why 3 is that.
And we're gonna have thoughts to talk about 3.
We'll talk about 3. Yeah, it makes some weird decisions. I like that they bring the T-Rex to the city. That's like
it's awesome.
One of the most interesting things you can now do with this series going forward. How they handle it in the World movies, we'll get to. but I think this is where it was done really well.
Oh, yeah.
It's not a great movie. It's also a backwards title. The subtitle is Jurassic Park, which is strange, but it's one of the better ones of the sequels, I'll say.
It's because the book is just called The Lost World.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
no, I remember this vividly because as a kid I would pore over behind the scenes features of my DVDs. And I remember this so vividly because I remember even as a kid I thought this was so stupid. Spielberg hates making sequels. He doesn't like making sequels, and he refuses to. So his whole loophole for making the Jurassic Park sequel is he went, this isn't a sequel, it's a different movie. So it's not Jurassic Park 2, it's The Lost World. This movie is called The Lost World.
Right, because
So
marketing definitely is going to not call it Jurassic.
Yeah, so that's why it's called The Lost World Jurassic Park, because Spielberg didn't want to call it Jurassic Park 2.
Right, yeah.
And the only reason Spielberg did the Indiana Jones sequels is because he basically promised his friend George Lucas he would make more than one movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Lost World is a movie where when I was a little kid, when I finally watched it, it was before 3 came out, but I didn't see it in the theaters when I was 5. But it was, I liked it when I was a kid. I went through a phase where I was older, and I'm like, this movie kind of sucks. Like, the main characters are all really dumb, and they cause all the problems in the movie. And watching it again, I do think it's the second best. It's like what Xander had to say about Crystal Skull. Like, Spielberg comes back, and he just adds that pinch of magic to it. Even if it's a weaker Spielberg, he still has that. And I think even Spielberg has said, like, he got partway through making this movie and realized he didn't really want to make this movie.
Yep, absolutely.
And it's a movie where there's a lot of frustrating things in it. I think the fucking, like, romantic relationship between Jeff Goldblum and Julianne Moore has some of the worst dialogue in the movie. Where it's like, I'm glad you came in riding in on the white horse, really, but sometimes I need you to show up in a cab every now and then. Like, I don't know why they felt like they needed to give Malcolm, like, a kid to tag along with and make him a bad dad. Actually, we know why, because Spielberg can't stop making movies about that.
That's his favorite topic.
Bro needs the trauma dump, man. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, if it was made any later, he'd be getting cucked by Seth Rogen.
Oh my god.
Now we're talking.
But, and it's like, but I mean, the dino action is all really good. I don't really like the San Diego sequence, not because it's bad in itself, but it feels like we got like a whole extra movie tacked on to the end of this
Yeah, but
movie.
that is the best part of the movie. This whole extra movie, you know?
I mean,
if you
it
take that
wasn't-
out of the movie and it's way worse.
I mean, it was supposed to end with them getting rescued, but Spielberg was like, no. We gotta end with dinosaurs in San Diego. And I mean, I agree.
Yeah, so it got added into the script like a month before shooting.
Yep.
But I think Roland, who, even though he's technically one of the villains of the movie, is one of the best characters in the entire series.
Oh, Roland's fucking amazing. I love him so much. Amazingly well done, great character.
Yeah, he's amazing. He's the best character in the movie. I wish he would, if Pete Postlethwaite hadn't passed away when he did, it would have been cool to see him come back in one of these newer
Oh
ones.
yeah, that would have been awesome.
Like, he's a character. I would like to have seen him come back over like some of like. Considering the crap they gave the original cast to do in Dominion,
Oh my
there's
god.
no hope.
Dominion.
We'll get there. We'll get there. It's looming.
Look, I don't know. I have a lot of mixed feelings on how I'm trying to rank the sequels. Like, I have them listed as ranked right now, but like I keep going back and forth because a lot of them have the same problems as each other.
So, I guess Jurassic Park 3 time? Do we
Yeah.
have to talk about that?
Yeah.
This
Okay.
movie is trash. Alan is a really funny scene.
Okay. You know what? We need
Ellen!
we need to stop 1 second right now, and I just need to say one thing.
Yeah.
This was the first Jurassic Park movie I ever saw in theaters. I was about four or 5 years old. This is the best fucking Jurassic Park sequel ever, man. Best, number 2 on the list. This fucking movie, awesome. The Spinosaurus is so fucking cool and badass. It chases these motherfuckers. It breaks through things. There's a cool T-Rex Spinosaurus fight, and they're like running around. Alan Grant's in the middle of it screaming. Spinosaurus kills the T-Rex, and that's so fucking cool. It breaks its neck. You got those cool raptors with the little quills thing. The whole gliding around and everything like that, and it's just Oh, it's such a great time. I fucking love this movie, and
I totally see how a 5-year-old would look at that and be like, that's like an 11 out of 10 film. I'm not putting that past you at all. But I will just comment and point out the obvious fact that all the Jurassics have a big, weird new monster running around, chasing, blowing things up, and fighting other monsters and stuff, more or less.
No. The Jurassic Worlds have that. The Jurassic Park trilogy all kind of each Jurassic Lost World and JP3 did different things. And the thing about JP3 is that it did have the Dino v T-Rex fight, but the World movies just kind of took that and were like, okay, we're gonna make that the final thing, and then they just kind of went. Whereas in 3, it was just meant to be like a setup to show just how powerful the Spinosaurus was.
Yeah, it was there to show how powerful the Spinosaurus is by jobbing everyone's favorite fucking T-Rex. So
Oh my God! Cry me a river, Jay.
That's what happened, Xander.
Get the fuck over it.
Get
it's
over
a
it.
T-Rex.
Oh, get over Wolfman 2025 because they're not werewolves.
It's a fucking T-Rex, okay?
I did not predict that this was going to be
No,
the
this is
flashpoint
not
of
the.
episode.
We're gonna talk about Rebirth. We'll get there.
You gotta understand. I have listened to so many fucking JP1 fanboys cry over their fucking T-Rex getting killed.
Okay,
I
but
finally get to say this to yourself. Suck it up.
If they made a Larry Talbot film and an underworld werewolf just kills him in the first 10 minutes, you're freaking out.
No.
Freaking out.
This isn't about werewolves. This
it's
isn't
about
about universal monsters.
If Blake kills
If Blake
Larry
killed
Talbot.
Larry Talbot, you would have exploded you would have caught fire spontaneously. The whole theater would have burned down just because of you involuntarily.
Can we get past the fight?
Okay, can you at least agree that the fight is cool?
I'll
a
not
decent
only
fight.
say
I
that,
think
but
it's
I'll
a
say
fun
that I
fight.
believe all, seven have at least one cool fight in it.
I think out of all the ones, maybe besides World's fight, I think this was the best dino fight besides the first one with the Indominus and T-Rex.
Yeah.
I think the Spinosaurus versus T-Rex is the best of the fights. It doesn't feel like that bad or anything.
Oh my
But
God,
I
World's
also
next, isn't it?
Yeah, World is next. I don't know. I love the airplane
haven't talked
scene
about 3
and
yet.
stuff, and I don't know. The Raptors are really cool.
Alan.
Raptors are
I
cool.
don't understand the issue. It was so funny because my partner had only seen JP3 once, so we're watching it, and so that scene happens, and I lean over and I go, "This is really divisive amongst fans," and he goes, well, "Why? It's just a Raptor saying Alan. It's a dream." I'm like, "Yeah, because it's stupid. Yeah,
It's
because
really
people don't
goofy,
like that
yeah.
a Raptor said Alan." And he goes, "Well, yeah, it's a dream. What does it matter?" And I had to bust out laughing because I'm like, "See, that's what I'm saying. I don't understand the issue.
Well,
What is
it's
the
funny
issue?"
because if you take that sequence out of the movie, it's just a boring film. But that's memorable to me. Oh my God.
Oh my God! All right.
I don't know why it's there. It just feels weird in the movie because I know why it's there. It's referencing the bit where he was trying to get the parrot to say his name.
Yeah.
But they didn't do
No,
a good job with it. But it's a movie where I can put it on and watch it. It doesn't bother me. It's an okay time waster kind of movie. It gets in and out. It's 84 minutes long.
We've gone longer than that in this show so far.
My biggest my biggest problem with it is that it just kind of fucking ends. Nothing. They just kind of run onto the beach and then they're gone. It feels like the movie forgot to have a climax.
I don't know. I like that Alan Grant is the main character again. I love Alan Grant. He's one of my favorite characters.
That's cool. Yeah,
he does so well in this.
I love annoyed, grumpy Sam Neill because he gives the best. I am sick of this shit in anything.
He really is good in that. I love that the facility where it's the incubation chambers and then they get chased through that. That place was really cool. I know it's not technically the same place, but I always, as a kid, and I'll still always I'll still always believe that that's the same truck that Ian got attacked in with the Velociraptors. I don't know.
So the Raptors moved it into the jungle.
Yeah, sure. But I don't know. I think it's really fun. I also retroactively like that they're in the mainland and it takes them 3 days to 3 or 4 days to get all the way over to the coast, a very realistic, natural amount of time to get from one side of an island to another on foot. I'm definitely not foreshadowing a certain
Discussion
movie
we'll be talking about
Yeah.
very briefly.
But I also like that. I like that there's a sense of time, and I don't know, it's cool. So that, personally, I absolutely adore this movie, and yes, it is completely just because I grew up on this movie, and it was just
I totally
perfect
see
time.
your point of view on that, and it's nowhere. It's not the worst one, so I'm not like a super dog on it. We'll get to the worst one later, but
Also, other defenses, the Spinosaurus is a really cool design, and I do legitimately think it's like a
he is.
bitchin' design. I really love it. And I also like that going into World, like, it kind of retroactively made it where it was like a Spinosaurus was like you could almost look at the Spinosaurus as like a blueprint for the genetic like hybrids, because like they're like, well, why is the Spinosaurus constantly chasing them and so strong and stuff? So it's kind of like that whole like thing of like, oh, InGen was fucking around, which I liked. Shit, what was it? Oh, the other thing is there's still a good mix of animatronics to CGI in this movie. This was kind of the beginning, like this was the final where it's like you can still appreciate that like
yep,
good blend of it all.
yeah.
Which I really liked.
Although I do think 3 has some of the weakest animatronics in the series. Like, that's the animatronic Spinosaurus. I think they show it too much, and it's real herky-jerky. It's like...
I like it. I think it's cool, but I get that. The only other real critique I have to say is Joe Johnston, fuck you. How the hell do you barely do anything and somehow manage to get Wolfman, a Jurassic Park movie, the first Captain America? Like, goddamn, you bastard.
I mean, that's what.
He also got
Those are
Nutcracker.
4 really varied fucking genred films. I mean, Captain
No,
America
that's what I
is
mean.
nothing like
if you look
Wolfman.
at if you look at Joe Johnston's directorial filmography, you ask yourself, how did he get those 3 franchises? He did like October, like it's just like, what the hell? How did you do that?
Some people get
I
fucking
can
lucky,
tell-
man.
I mean, I could... I can tell you how he got Captain America. It's because he made The Rocketeer.
That makes sense,
okay.
actually. Yeah, that totally tracks.
Okay.
But all right, are we ready to go on to World?
Yeah, Jurassic World.
All
Let's
right,
hear it.
I'll lead this one off here because it's so funny. Because like I am so with the average Jurassic Park like movie going audience where it's like the first one's great, the sequels kind of blow. I do a complete 180 for the first World. I think Jurassic World in the first one is genuinely like on par, maybe not like as good, but like somewhere in the realm of being a great movie like the first one. It has so much to say about like what an audience asks for and what they expect versus what they're actually going to get, because the whole story is that the InGen, not InGen, maybe it is InGen, but like the company that's running the Jurassic World theme park, they're the ones that are just like, yeah,
Masrani.
they're the ones that are like, okay, well, we have to outdo ourselves. And there's characters in the movie saying like, they're fucking dinosaurs. Like, they're the most badass, coolest thing ever. And they're like, no. We got to make genetically altered ones. We got to make the crazy ones. And it's like, this is going to backfire because it's not what people want. And I see that, like, in the context of the movie, it's because it's going to break out and do another, breakout and everyone dies again. But, like, thematically, that's like, it speaks about franchises and what franchises are and how bad sequels just keep making bigger, dumber shit versions of themselves, which Jurassic Park unironically has done at certain points. But this is just like a almost like a meta commentary on not just this but like other movie series and stuff. And I'm like, wow, this is like, there's like something to say in here. Like, this is like a genuinely interesting angle to tackle this. And then the other reason that I totally love it is, yeah, there's dinosaurs fighting each other, but no point prior and no point after this movie do they give genuine character development to a fucking dinosaur. Because Blue, in the third act, when he's, like, looking back and forth between Chris Pratt and, like, the other dinosaurs and stuff, like, he has to make a decision. And he doesn't say any words because he's a fucking dinosaur, but you know everything that's going through that dinosaur's mind. I'm like, holy shit, they're like, is this an arc? Like, are you developing, like, a storyline with this fucking, like, non-sentient creature? That's so cool. So it's like the most badass thing. So when you have that finale where they're fighting the Indominus with the T-Rex and Blue and stuff, and they're working together, it's so satisfying because it's not just spectacle. It's like character based, not like the most like Shakespearean like best screenplay Oscars or anything, but it's like interesting. It's like, wow, they took Jurassic Park series and made like probably the most interesting possible sequel you can make. So I fucking love the first Jurassic World movie.
You know, Jake, all I have to say is, what Spider-Verse are you from, and can you just stay here forever?
Oh, I remember when I saw it. I actually liked Jurassic World a fair bit. I like the whole idea of it getting to see the open functioning park.
Yeah.
I think that's a really cool idea. I actually didn't mind the whole raptor training thing. I thought the way they explained it actually made sense, and that was something Spielberg was pushing for ever since they were going to do a fourth movie. And it's got some good stuff in it. The Indominus doesn't do as much as I would have liked. Like, they give it like the cloaking ability and it uses it once in the whole movie, which is something they pulled from the second book, because two of the dinosaurs have like the cloaking ability, and it's this really cool chapter, and I've been wanting to see that in a Jurassic Park movie for forever, and then they kind of whiff it, which is kind of disappointing. But it was pretty good. I do think it kind of falls into the trap of, like, we got to reference everything from the last movie. Remember this? And, like, the kids finding, like, a fucking old-ass Jurassic Park Jeep and somehow get it working. Like, what the hell is that?
I will say, though, this is 2015. This is before that became really, like, tired. For me, anyway, where it's like, oh...
Yeah, this was one of the first times
it's one of the first, like, nostalgia-y. You couldn't make this movie this style today because it would kind of be, like, super dogged on of, like, we've seen this 1,000 times, don't do it again, you know?
Well, if I recall, I think Jurassic World was one of the first, like, coming back from an old
like legacy sequels in modern day.
Yeah,
it was
I think
one
so,
of.
right?
I don't want to call it the first though. You know, there's late in the 2010s here, so. But.
Yeah, that's true.
There was stuff like it before, but this and Force Awakens coming out in the same
yeah,
year kind
Force
of
Awakens does
the
this a
idea.
little bit more so with just the paying tribute to decades old franchise and stuff. But
That's true.
Jurassic World, I think that it like adds a lot more to it.
The other thing I will say, Chris Pratt has more chemistry with the CGI raptor than he does with Bryce Dallas Howard, specifically in this movie.
I also think Pratt is probably one of the best human characters in the series. Like, you make him directly relevant to what the dinosaurs are, like, doing. Like, the best human character is probably John Hammond, probably. You know, he's so interesting.
Yes.
But
I mean, Alan Grant, but...
Alan Grant, too. But, like, Chris Pratt is the one actually training the raptors. So he has a story-based reason for being implemental in every single fucking scene that he's in. Whereas the vast majority of protagonists are like, oh, I'm here for a paycheck. Oh, I'm here because I'm a evil scientist man. You know, like, who fucking cares?
No, yeah, I get you.
I like Chris Pratt in this movie. I find this character gets increasingly annoying as the trilogy goes on, where I'm like, just fucking go away.
Yeah, they lose that magic, yeah.
Are you done with everything you wanted to say, Bruce?
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
I'm done, yeah. I don't have a whole lot.
I really love Jurassic World. I mean, again, you know, when me and my mom found it, you know, we both had gotten really excited and stuff because we thought that was it for Jurassic Park, and Jurassic World came out. I remember I saw it in, like, the RPX theater, because that was back in the day when it was, like, this was before, like, AMC had Dolby and stuff. And I was like, oh, cool, RPX. I love Jurassic World. I've popped it in quite a few times. I was always on board with it. So I agree with everything you have to say, Jake. Like I said, I don't know what timeline what timeline you're in, but in that one, I feel like I'm more of you, and so you must have swapped with me or something. This is weird.
Exactly it.
Yeah. The fucking motorcycle chase, so fucking cool. I love that. I loved being able to see, like, an actual functioning park. That was something I always was wondering about, and they answered that question and stuff. And I agree. I think Chris Pratt's character is, like, really cool. He's, like, my second favorite in the whole franchise next to Alan Grant. And I don't know. I always thought he was cool. I feel like out of all the Chris Pratt roles, this is probably, like, one of his, like, ones where I'm like, yeah, I like him. He's cool. He's fun.
Yeah.
I know, like, he's apparently a meme, but whatever. And yeah, Blue's cool. The T-Rex versus Indominus is cool. I feel like the Indominus was a really cool idea, and I kind of wish there was, like, more about him or something. But I mean, you know, he came, he went, and it was pretty cool. I like Claire Dearing. I think she did a good job. One of the things I do remember specifically that always stood out to me ever since I watched it the first time was that Zara, her assistant, her death is so needlessly cruel and evil, like, and for no reason. Like, she's not money hungry, she's not like bad or anything. She's just like slightly annoyed that she has to watch these kids, which is like, well, yeah, I'd be too. And like, she's just trying to watch those kids, and the next thing I know, she gets flown up by a couple like flying dinosaurs, picked apart, dunked into a tank, picked back up again, and then eaten by a mosasaur. I'm just like, Jesus Christ, what did you do to deserve this? It's just fucked up, man. But no, I enjoyed World. I think it was really cool. Next is Fallen Kingdom on the list.
I
I'll lead the charge with this one.
Yeah, go for it.
This is a movie that I am completely like half and half on, because there's stuff in this movie I think is amongst the coolest stuff in the series, and then there's stuff where I'm like, what the hell are you doing? Because I find the first half of this movie is just like diet Lost World, and it's kind of boring. It kind of gets me back a little bit more when it turns into kind of a horror movie in the mansion, and I think the Indoraptor is really kind of creepy and cool, and then the ending is stupid, but I like the mansion stuff. When they're on the island, it drives me fucking crazy, that scene where Chris Pratt gets paralyzed and he's like slowly rolling away from the lava like that's gonna save him.
That one's is that all you had to say?
It's a movie. I only saw it once, but I mean, it's got some stuff in there. Like, I do like the scene where they're like floating away on the boat from the island, and you see the Brachiosaurus fucking die. I'm like, that's a well done scene. And I will say, this is the one of the three that Trevorrow didn't direct. They got J.A. Bayona to do it, and I think it's not that great of a movie, but it's really well directed.
Right.
This is a movie for me that I only saw it once as well, Bruce. It's weird. I agree with what you're saying, Bruce, but I also fucking hate it. So, like, it's just because everything that I loved about Jurassic World almost is absent. Like, there's no interesting characters, there's no themes, there's no, like, there's nothing here. There's no, all the characters make way worse and dumber decisions than they previously did. The third act, the twist with the clone experiment, was actually among the most interesting things in the movie. And for me, it almost
And then
saves
they fucked it up.
almost. But now with the foresight of Dominion, it's like, well, you know, all that did was set up things, and I know where those things go. So it's like a.
It was they ruined that with the ending of Fallen Kingdom already, and then Dominion just made
Dominion
it worse.
really doubled down on how bad that was. But no, Fallen Kingdom for me was probably the most forgettable of the worlds. It's like the modern equivalent for like Jurassic Park, like 3 for me. I'm so sorry, Xander. I know it's like your favorite one, but like, it's just there's nothing here. There's no like, all the characters are either like dumber than they were or absent, and it's just not important for my money.
Okay. I liked Fallen Kingdom. Ironically, it's my least rewatched of all of them. I think I've only seen it a couple times, even though I enjoyed it. I don't know. Yeah, the beginning part, I always found it really annoying because in the trailers they just spoiled the whole twist of like, oh, we're not actually, saving these dinos. We're just like, it was all this. And I always hated that, but I don't know. I enjoyed it. I thought like the island kind of blowing up sucked because I was like, well, that's the original island. Why are you blowing that up? But it was still cool. I like the stuff with the mansion. I know everyone hates the Indoraptor, but I have to admit, it looks so fucking cool.
I think it's
interesting.
cool.
Yeah.
It's so fucking cool.
And specifically the scene in the end, the third act, where it's like in the mansion, kind of like haunting everyone. I thought that was so interesting.
Yeah.
That was really cool. That's
That
the
was
best part.
so cool.
It's my favorite of the mutants.
Yeah, it's probably the best mutant out of all of them. And I don't know. I liked how Claire's like character growth is shown, and like how when they introduce her in World, she's like going up in the elevator and like she's all prim and proper and stuff, and like she's still like reciting what she's gonna say. But then in Fallen Kingdom, she's going down an elevator. She's no longer Prim Popper. She's holding coffee and everything. I like that juxtaposition that they showed and stuff. I thought that was really good. I agree. I think it was really well shot. I thought the clone stuff made sense. I mean, you're cloning dinosaurs. Why would you not clone humans? This seems so fucking obvious. I didn't know why anyone was annoyed at that. I was like, okay, duh. What did you think was gonna happen? But
It'd be easier to clone a human than it would be to clone a
exactly. Thank you. I'm like,
there are
everyone's
humans.
saying everyone's saying oh, this is such a stupid idea. This is way off base. I'm like, what are you talking
this
about?
Series, it makes a lot of sense because that's what they've been doing the whole time. So that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah. It's what like I was saying, cloning a human, you have to do all this R&D to clone a dinosaur. Cloning a human, you just need a freaking pipette and a placenta.
Yeah, there you go. I don't mind everything that's set up. I know everyone finds the line "they're alive like me" to be stupid and cringe. I didn't find it that cringe. I thought it all made sense. And I do think it kind of sucked that they clickbaited with all the scenes of dinosaurs in the real world, and it just ends up being the final part of the film. That kind of sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially where it goes.
Yeah, that's
Brutal.
True. But yeah, now on to Dominion.
All right. Can I lead this one? I'd like to talk about Dominion for a bit.
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
I wonder if you guys can predict how I feel.
Jake hates Dominion. What a surprise. This is an awful movie. What a surprise, he said.
That is one big pile of shit.
What is it with Universal's franchise films where when they fucking advertise that all the fucking protagonists from the other ones are coming together, it either doesn't happen at all and false advertising, or when they do happen, it's inconsequential, doesn't fucking matter. Because, God, what are the protagonists all together for sub 15 minutes at the end? And what are they doing? Standing near a dinosaur while real shit happens off screen? Oh my God, it's the most fucking bullshit way. There's so many subplots that go nowhere and don't matter at all. Why the fuck do we spend so much time with Ian Malcolm with his fucking book? Who cares about his fucking book? You can mention it, but you spend so much time with that shit. The most satisfying part of the movie was when Alan Grant and what's her name, Ellie, they finally kissed. It was like, oh, okay, that kind of pays off a little bit of those fucking old Jurassic Park movies. But that's it. There's just nothing here. I like the dinosaur had feathers. They finally learned their lesson on that one. And the effects are really good. I think that maybe some of the best effects in the World Series so far. I don't know. But, that's it. There's just nothing to this. It has so much going for it. There's so much potential. It had the most potential of maybe the entire fucking series at that point, and they do close to nothing with it. And the plot is all about locusts, and no one fucking cares about the locusts. Even Jurassic Park fans fucking hate the locusts because it's not dinosaurs. Why the fuck? Who cares? What is the point? Why? How on earth do you fumble this big of a bag? How the fuck do you fuck this up that bad in 2020 fucking 2? It's not even the whatever. It's an old movie. Nobody cared. Nobody rewatched VHS tapes or whatever the fuck. This is a modern blockbuster that's concluding a massive franchise. This is your No Way Home, right? This is your big thing. And you're fucking everything up. And now it doesn't matter because there's a chance that if you do this again, they'll be so old, the actors, that they're going to be too dead to come back, and you're going to miss your chance. This was your chance, man. This was it, and you didn't do anything with it, and I'm fucking mad at it. So it's easily one of the worst ones of the series for me. Sure.
Can I go next? It is completely rock bottom. There's very, very little I like in this movie because they set up with the end of Fallen Kingdom this great premise of dinosaurs are out in the world and humans are just gonna have to deal with it. Only to time skip and go, we already dealt with that. And it only gets addressed in 2 scenes. The best action set piece in the movie is the Malta chase with the Atrociraptors. That was a lot of fun.
Yes.
But the movie hardly ever hits that level. And Sam Neill, once again, is fun because grouchy, annoyed Sam Neill is always watchable. The best version of that is, of course, Hunt for the Wilder People, if you've never seen it.
I'll have to watch that.
And it's just a waste of so many things because they're doing so much shit in this movie where it's they're because it's it feels like the dinosaurs are out of focus in favor of the locusts, but there's a shitload of dinosaurs in this movie who just show up and go bleh and then go away. and I don't even know why. And you read like someone just recently shared this old article where Colin Trevorrow was talking about how like, oh, this new dinosaur we're introducing, he's like the Joker. He just wants to see the
Yeah,
world burn.
I love
Oh
that.
yeah.
And then you watch them. And then you watch the movie, and the Giganotosaurus is in like 2 scenes and does jack shit.
Did you just say Giganotosaurus?
That's
There's
Giganotosaurus
no way that's the
is
name
what
of
it's
the
called.
dinosaur.
Yeah, it's
It sounds like a 4th
Giganotosaurus.
grader made that up. That's so funny.
Biggest predator to ever live.
I'm the Giganotosaurus, bitch.
And the big dino fight at the end is a complete fuck off, just stupid, pointless. It has no investment because the other 2 dinosaurs, we literally just met them and spent a scene with them. It's like, what was the point? And the fact that like they finally, inexplicably after forever, bring back the character of Dodgson and make him like a main villain, and they turn him into like this almost comic relief idiot who the whole climax of the movie only happens because he burns the locusts and his dumbass built a containment room with a window on it so they break out and go fly everywhere.
This movie can suck my Giganuts and my Saurus.
And then he has the fucking Barbasol can, which means nothing.
I'm guessing neither of you guys watched the Camp Cretaceous Netflix show.
No, I haven't. But I will say, I think Dominion is maybe one of the worst big budget blockbusters I have seen in recent years.
Well, one, I highly recommend that Netflix show. It's animated. It's a kid's show. I promise you, watch it. It's really, really good for kids animation. Like it's a really good Jurassic Park TV show. But they do address Dotson finding that Barbasol can, and in that show, you find the most amazing revelation of he walks through the jungle, picks it up, and goes, "Oh, this thing," and then the story picks up.
I mean, it's useless because the coolant.
Yeah, no, he went, man, this would have been a lot. He literally goes, well, this would have been a lot useful like 20 years ago. But that's all jokes aside. I'm of 2 minds of Dominion. There's the nostalgic, I just love dinosaurs side, and then there's the Xander is now a filmmaker, and he's been studying films and working on making movies and stuff, and now he has a critical eye and able to like see stuff. And on one side, I'm like, whoa, bunch of dinosaurs, really cool dinosaur scenes. The Atrociraptor chase is so fucking cool and fun, and you got all the scenes with like the blind dinosaur like sniffing for Claire, and that's really cool. And then I don't know, everyone's really fun. Alan's back, Ellie's back, Ian's back. They're all interacting. They're all doing really cool, fun things and being hilarious. And I don't know, you got Rexy and you know, there's a Giganata and Dilophosaurus are back, and one of them gets choked out by Owen, which was fun. And I don't know, I like the T-Rex. I like the treehouse scene where like Ian frickin' spears a flaming spear into the Giganotosaurus' mouth and turns into a dragon for a second. That was sick. And I don't know, there's just so many cool, fun things. And then the other side of me goes, what are we doing? Why? I don't know. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't think the locusts are that like awful. Again, genetic modifications. This all makes sense why this would happen. Like, of course, someone would try to bioengineer things to be able to make it so that only farm with biosyn and stuff. That all made sense. It was like this makes sense in the world that we have created.
Yep.
For this film franchise. Like nothing, I don't know why anyone is acting like this is stupid or annoying. Like it's like duh. But I also agree that it's bad. And I don't know, there's so many shots that are just kind of like cut, kind of boring and stuff. You could have done it a little bit better. The biggest thing that I hate is that the final fight is, you know, you got Rexy and the Giga, and you're like, okay, cool. You know, this movie's trying to adhere to every single fan, you know, Lost World and everything. It's like, okay, clearly we know what's going to happen. We know what's gonna happen. Rexy's almost dead. Down for the count. All right, let's have it. Let's see it. Spinosaurus comes up, saves the day. We fix the. We finally band-aid the divide between Tyrannosaurus and Spinosaurus fans. And then some stupid-ass claw-blind dinosaur comes out like this is a fan moment, and I go, what the fuck?
Yep.
That was the biggest annoyance. And I know I'm not the only one because someone on YouTube made an animation of the Spinosaurus showing up instead and like helping Rexy fuck the Giga's shit in. So I know I'm not the only man who wanted to see it. And I think the other annoying thing is that just like because of that Spino fight, Universal is so fucking afraid. Because that's the other thing. I know I'm talking about this, but like you guys have talked about everything else, so I might as well talk about the one thing that I find is that Universal is so dead ass afraid of their own fans crucifying them for daring to kill the T-Rex that ever since in the Indominus fight, because like Rexy's so old now, like there's not much like there's only so far you can go where like a T-Rex can do. So it's just they're so afraid of killing off another T-Rex that they have to find the most randomest of ways to make it so that it can still win, to the point that now just some random claw dino shows up and goes, yeah, I'll help you out. And it's just stupid. And that was my biggest gripe with the movie. My other biggest gripe is just that I like seeing Alan and everyone. They're all good. And I like the interactions, but I wish there was more.
I know.
I wish it wasn't like Alan... Yeah. Alan and Owen talk for like 5 seconds about Raptors, but I'm like, I want to hear more. I want to hear you guys talk more about it. Like, what the hell? I think Claire and Ian could have had a lot of conversations just about things, because she used to be like the head of world, but then she's still into dinosaurs, and Ian's like, no, fuck dinosaurs, they need to die and stuff, and I think that would have been interesting and everything, but we don't get that. It's so underutilized. And I think instead of locusts in the power room scene, I think it should have been compies. Like, why did we not have compies? Why?
Yes,
that would have been cool.
Yep.
And I said how they're alive just like me. I didn't find to be a bad line. And I found this bad from the very first moment I've seen it. I can't justify it. The part where Maisie goes, "Hey, eyes on me," was so stupid. That's the stupidest line. You can call the Allen line as stupid as you want, but it'll never be bad as the delivery of that girl going, "Hey, eyes on me," at a baby raptor. I was just, oh my god, that was so bad.
I really want to see a prop Velociraptor head say, "Hey, eyes on me."
I actually liked Maisie. I thought her character was pretty good. Besides that,
I didn't need the convoluted retcon of her backstory.
I didn't mind it. I thought it was alright, but yeah. And I mean that's all I really have to say. I mean, it's still a fun time in my opinion. And there's still a lot of cool things in it.
It's very much not a fun time for me. I could not disagree more. I appreciate.
I feel like Trevorrow, he only put the original cast back in it so he could fan fiction Alan and Ellie back together for his.
That's like the only fucking part that I liked.
That's the other thing. I'm like, you fixed the one sin Jurassic Park 3 committed, which was divorcing Alan and Ellie, and you got them back together, and I was like, yay.
But I mean, her poor fucking husband was cool though, because he fucking got them out of the island. He called the fucking Marines.
When Ellie said they divorced, I visibly cheered. I was like, yes.
Yeah. Oh well.
But yeah, I don't know. Good movie. I enjoyed it. Awful movie. This is really bad.
It's the powerful Spino versus the cunning T-Rex. You determine their fate in the Jurassic Park 3 Spino versus T-Rex battle game. Vicious jaws, thrashing claws, steel whips, and roars. It's all fair game in a battle this big. Jurassic Park 3 Spino versus T-Rex game. The fiercest fight ever. Batteries not included.
Rebirth.
All right,
Brand new film.
here we go.
Oh boy.
Who wants to start first? It could be me. It could be someone else.
Can I?
This movie is fun.
Can I?
No, it's not.
Yeah, I had fun.
I had a lot of fun with it, but Bruce, you start because you're the middle ground.
So for me, what this movie was, okay, so Dominion, I don't know if it's just because Dominion lowered the bar so far below, I would rather just look at that giant pile of shit from the first movie again for 2 hours. But this movie, what this movie was to me was just like a really expensive, high budget version of one of those old, like, cheesy dinosaur movies. But unlike a lot of those, it actually gave you a shitload of dinosaurs and actually really good set pieces. The thing, I think most of the dinosaur scenes are cool. The Mosasaurus stuff was really exciting. The newer, more accurate designs of the Spinosaurs, it was cool seeing those. I liked the river raft scene from the first book. I liked seeing it. I wish it was as long as it was in the book instead of being like 5 minutes like it is in the movie. But I thought it was cool. I wish the T-Rex showed up again later on instead of just disappearing.
I'm just happy that there wasn't another T-Rex versus new dinosaur fight.
And I think just as like an action dinosaur B movie, I think it's perfectly fine and watchable. What brings it down from being a great movie for me is that a lot of the dialogue and kind of character stuff is like, it feels like they wrote this in a day, and they probably did because the development of this was super rushed. But the first couple scenes, they give like the same exposition like twice. You have that weird scene where Scarlett Johansson pops up in the dude's car, and then they get out of the car, they go walk over to the waterfront, and I'm like, is the couple from past lives gonna just walk by? And it's like we have this conversation on the because he gives the whole pitch to her of like, oh, this could be like this drug could save people from dying, and then they go to the museum, and he has the same conversation with her. Only this time he goes, oh yeah, like your dad. But and then like a lot of like the scenes where they're like blah 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 blah, like some of the exposition was kind of bad, and I wish like the other members of the team, because like the main 3 or 4 people are at least reasonably well defined. There's like 3 other people who are literally just there for like to be dino meat. If you're not Scarlet, the bad guy, Mahershala Ali, or the dude from Wicked, whose name for some reason is Dr. Loomis.
Yeah, that was weird. I was like, what?
Yeah.
You're pretty much just there to be dino food. And then the family, I didn't mind the family as a whole. I so wanted the boyfriend to get eaten.
Wow.
Because like
I cannot.
Every word out of his mouth was like a toned down version of the fucking boyfriend from Age of Extinction. Like I half expected this guy to pull out the Romeo and Juliet card like 5 minutes in.
I am blown away that you did not mind the family and only wanted the boyfriend to get eaten. That family was like that's such a clear. We wrote a script that's just about the mission because that's what the actual story is. Oh shit, we have to appeal to fucking families because families are gonna sell tickets. Let's write in a family that does literally nothing the whole fucking time and just keep cutting back to them.
Oh shit, this script is only fair because it does feel like they went, oh shit, the script is only like 70
That would have been better.
Hurry. I don't mind the mutants, but it just kind of feels like they're there. And then we can get to it later, but there's stuff about the ending where I'm like, oh my god, they didn't think this through.
Well, I'll go next. I absolutely love this film. I had a blast with it. It's so much fun. The opening is so dark and holy fuck, that's damn. I thought the opening was really shot really well with that lighting and the smoke and just like the guy screaming for his life. I was like, I'm here for it. We could have cut out the entire I'm putting together a team, you son of a bitch I'm in scenes for like all of it. We didn't need it. You could have cut it out and gone straight to the family on the boat, and we just like kind of learn who ScarJo and her characters are at the end. That said, I really liked Scarlett's character in this movie. I thought she was well written. I liked that, like, she was like kind of dealing with the fact like these characters were dying. We're just like, all right, fine, people die, let's move on. And I don't know, it was nice that, like, for once the main character wasn't like, I'm an environmentalist, or I'm here for the dinos, or this or that. And she really was like, I'm doing this for the money, I'm doing this for the cash. And even at the end, she only decides to give it to the people because the guy who was going to pay her is dead. So I liked that. I liked that she wasn't, like, altruistic, because I feel like way too many of the Jurassic Park films, for as much as I love them, it's all the same characters that are like, I want to help the dinosaurs, or I just want to get out, or I don't know. I like that she was like, yeah, I know what I'm doing, and I enjoyed that. I thought it was cool. I don't know. I'm a huge Scarlett Johansson fan. I thought all the scenes with all the dinosaurs were really cool. I liked the boyfriend. I thought he was hilarious. And I liked that he wasn't just this useless character. Like, he like is set up to be that, and then it twist is that he actually is lazy, but he, like, you know, he actually, like, isn't an asshole or anything. He's just helping out. I like that. And I thought he was mostly, I thought he was funny. I really didn't, you know, after he saves the girlfriend, I was laughing at pretty much all the jokes and, like, the whole thing where, like, he's just this weird juxtaposition.
Weird.
I thought it was funny. I don't know. River raft scene, best scene. Holy shit, that was great. Again, the way they do all the kills in this movie are kind of like how Camp Cretaceous does it, where it's very shocking, but it's not, like, gory, but you still get that holy shit, they actually did that kind of factor, which I liked. I mean, I'll always be a fan of JP's Spinosaurus 3, JP3's Spinosaurus, but I did like the Spinosaurus in this. I feel like they were a little underutilized. Like, I wish we got to see more of them. And it just feels like ever since 3, they're still very hesitant to use Spinosaurus. I'm just like, just give me my fucking sailed monster, you bastards. Again, I mean, hey, David Koepp got resurrected to make this movie, so that was cool. My other biggest thing is just, like, to you know, people like Lost World, JP3 takes you a good couple days to traverse an island. This movie, damn, you're all the way on cliff sides within a matter of minutes, and I'm like, how the fuck are you guys traveling so fast? And I hate the D-Rex, the disastrous Rex or something like that. The design looks so awful. And
it looks like a Hell Knight.
I'm like, what the fuck is this thing? And, like, you could tell that, I'm like, who designed this, and why did you not do a redesign? Because none of the marketing, like yeah, there's a toy for it, but, like, none of the AMC marketing shows it. You know, they kind of tried to double down, but it's like, at some point, why didn't someone say, we gotta redesign this fucking thing? Because it sucks. Like, I don't mind the idea of mutant dinosaurs, but why do you gotta make it suck? And I wish, because there's this thing that people were, like, saying, like, maybe the idea is that it will evolve throughout the movie. And I thought that too, but, like, it was only halfway through where I realized, yeah, this thing's only gonna show up at the very end, and it did, and it was like, well, that sucks. Yeah, I mean, you know, big businessman decides to be businessman asshole, which what a shocker.
Yeah.
Agent 47.
Yeah.
All right, Jake, tell us about how much you hate this movie and hate fun.
There's one thing I want to field before we let Jake go off. How much of this movie's budget do you think came from candy product placement?
Hey, I have a nut allergy, so I've been trying to tell people for years Snickers is the devil. So I'm just saying.
Oh, man.
Because, I mean, Snickers is what breaks out the D-Rex in the beginning. The fucking Sweet Tart ropes are actually a plot point.
Yep.
There's the dude's eating M&Ms in one scene,
The
and
boyfriend
then
Altoids.
they go through a store.
Dude is
Altoids.
Altoids.
too.
The boyfriend comments like, "Oh, you
And
have
then there's a
licorice or
scene-
whatever the fuck that was." Like, "Oh, on the boat," and it's supposed to be comedy, and nobody in the theater made a noise. Lots of
I thought it
lots
was
of,
funny.
Lots of scenes like that.
And then they're in that store in the village at the end, and of course you get a big shot of all the candy bars.
Oh my
Oh,
god!
and every single type of chip that Lay's owns. You know, Doritos, Lay's Funyuns, Lay's.
But only the candy was plot relevant.
Nah, that's true.
If the end of the film said directed by Michael Bay, I'd be like, it makes sense. For like everything wrong with
No.
it. Yes. Oh,
No,
100%.
It's not long enough, and
There's
not-
not enough explosions.
It's not. It's
There's tons of explosions,
not enough
bro.
sex jokes.
Tons
And
of
and
sex jokes.
listen. I'm just saying. If it was directed by Michael Bay, you know Scarlett Johansson would have been wearing a revealing top and having cleavage. Showing.
Actually, yeah, if anything, ScarJo is like, I think 40s. That's like 39 years too old for Michael Bay, so never mind on that one.
Well, he did make a movie.
He did.
with her.
He did. Well, that was a very long time ago, wasn't it?
I mean, she was in a tank top for like half the
As
movie.
soon as the
so-
opening scene started with the fucking Snickers wrapper in this like super ultra high tech lockdown, if one thing goes wrong, this fucking dinosaur kills everyone involved. So the fucking Snickers wrapper goes in like one small vent. The whole facility, error, locked, everything's shitting itself, everything's opening up, everything's on fire, everyone run as fast as you can, there's no solution to anything at all. Like, oh my god, what the bumfuck facility is this? This does not exist. This is like ridiculous. Like, take any facility with anything, like whether it's a scientific one or a prison, because this is kind of both. If you fuck up one vent, the facility still runs. Like, that's crazy. So, off the bat, this is like the first 2 minutes
Hold
of
on.
the scene.
Whoa, Jake. You misunderstood.
I
The
must have.
facility didn't break down. It said that a thing came out and the door couldn't close, so they were locking down that cage specifically.
Right.
And everyone was trying to get out of that one specific place, so that they didn't get locked in with the.
So,
the-
all right.
the
So,
Rex. So it didn't break down the whole
door,
lab.
that must be the shittiest built door for a half wrapper of Snickers to just
It is.
stop it from closing, and then the shittiest protocols, if there is a problem with the door closing, to just say error red lights without any actual like fail-safe or instructions to do anything at all for any reason.
Well, I mean, maybe it was the ghost of a certain character who we know loves candy
Yes,
bars.
100%. It had to have been. There's supernatural abilities in this world now.
Dennis Nedry.
Yep.
You gotta love him.
Dodge
I
in
mean,
here.
I mean,
See, nobody cares.
this story was written by a ghost. David Kep got killed
Yep.
by a T-Rex. So.
Yeah, so as soon as the opening scene happened, I'm like, oh, we're in for one of these fucking shit shows, aren't we? And then, of course, it continued as such. It starts with, oh, nobody cares about dinosaurs anymore. People like fucking dinosaurs. They're dope. I'm sorry. 32 years? Fuck you. Whoever wrote that has no idea how people work. Every time a car crashes, people are rubbernecking. I see cars every day of my life, but I'm still interested in a car crash if I drive by it. If you see a bunny on your lawn, you're looking at it. You're interested. Oh, shit, that's a fucking bunny out there. If you saw a brontosaurus on the highway, you're not like, I guess I'll keep driving to work. Like, fuck you, man. Like, none of this makes any fucking sense. This is not how people work. So that immediately was like, oh, my God.
Well, to be fair, that was also a thing in Jurassic World, where they were like, people are getting bored with the dinosaurs, so we got to make this.
I
mean,
like that.
I-
I like that because that's what executives thought people were like. When in reality, people around them were saying, "No, that's dumb. T-Rexes are fucking plenty profitable attractions. Let's just keep doing this." But they're like, "No. We got to make it crazier." I like that as a criticism of what this movie does.
I like the story idea that I like the idea that the dinosaurs just are not able to survive like modern world, like with just everything.
So
the
that's
ones
an
that are
interesting
surviving
idea.
are surviving near the equator. I thought that was cool. What I didn't like is that I had like five minutes of just text on screen being told me that.
Dude, there was dialogue about it. There was text on screen, and then there was dialogue about it again. And this is all in the first like 20 minutes. Like I couldn't stand how many times they kept establishing that dinosaurs die outside of this zone. But anyway, that's probably just executives making the movie that are just like, people are too dumb to understand it one time or 3 times. Make it 5
it made
times.
$1 billion.
$1 billion
Jake.
fucking
I don't know
dollars.
what you want.
Ugh. So anyway, then you get like these horribly written scenes, like ScarJo and Mahershala Ali just talking on the boat about nothing. None of it comes back. None of it amounts to anything.
Okay.
None of it has an arc or anything.
That part, the only thing I have to say is that I found it so misused that they were using the Jurassic Park theme during that conversation, because it made no sense. Like, you use that theme for when dinosaurs are around, and they don't use that. And it's weird because later on, when they're around like the lawn necks and stuff, they use like a little like lullaby kind of thing, and then it turns into the Jurassic Park theme. I'm like, why didn't you swap these 2 tracks around in the edit? Like, make that would make more sense. But anyways, go on.
Yeah, the scene that rips off the fucking Brontosaurus scene from the first movie, that made let's just jump right to that. Like, let's walk through grass that's the size of a human with like nothing but this fucking grass out for miles in every direction, which I'm sure is like the safest and smartest plan, and the script rewards them by not getting them eaten. And then, oh yeah, every direction we're looking, we're seeing nothing at all. And then the tail comes up, and then it pans, and there's this skyscraper-sized dinosaur right there. And then there's another one, walks up to it. It's like, oh, we missed that. My bad, they must have been hiding in the grass. They're real stealthy about that. And then 2 minutes later, after they rip off the Brontosaurus scene, oh, look down this field that was like 10 feet away. There's 100 of them. What? How? Where the fuck did all they come from? Are they all hiding in the trees like ninja dinosaurs that are like 300 feet tall? Oh my god, that pissed me off so much. None of this fucking made any sense. And like every scene had qualities like that where it's like, this logic doesn't track. The scaling on this. And this is Gareth Edwards, mind you, who's very good at scaling and very good at like perspectives and keeping you invested. He's done monster films before. Rogue One is a great film about like scale. The third act is a great sense of scale. This movie was just the most ass-fucked fucking logic thing ever. I'll stay on topic. So ScarJo and Mahershala are in the boat. They're talking about nothing at all because every single thing they have is useless and wastes this audience's time because it doesn't come back in any way. Like, if you want to talk about the third act, it's not like ScarJo like saves someone, which would kind of redeem her from her backstory. No, they just fill her in backstories, Mad Libs, fucking, I had a dead Vietnam, and I'm sad about guilty thing from war. Well, I have divorce. Like, it doesn't fucking matter. So that happens, and then they have the scene, which is like the one part of the book they didn't adapt in the whole series, which is like the boat chasing scene with the fucking whatever. I haven't talked about the family yet. I'll get to the family in a second. But fucking that scene, they have this technology where it's like this syringe, right? And if you shoot the syringe, the thing takes the blood, shoots up in the sky, and parachutes down. Every single time one of those shot the blood up in the air, every single time, it parachuted within arm's reach of a human who happened to be standing there.
I will say that in my head I was like, "There's no fucking way you grab that without any help." Like, bullshit.
The worst one was the first one, which they were on the boat scene with, where it fired the thing up in the air. Both the boat and the dinosaur are like trucking like 40, 50, if not faster, miles an hour to shoot this thing. This thing fires backwards, and it lands right here in the boat. And it's like, what the like? Did the boat like teleport? But that's actually not the only scene in that film where the boat teleported, but we'll get there in a second. That same scene, ScarJo can't shoot a gun worth shit. It's like, oh, you got to be in a certain number of meters. Well, like most of the scene, she's like right there staring at it, looking through the scope, and I'm like, oh my god, just shoot the fucking gun, just shoot the fucking gun, oh my god, you're right there, what's wrong with you? And then it rocks the boat, and she falls down. I'm like, you deserve this. I hope you unclip and die in the fucking water. You're so bad at your job. And then she fires, and she misses, right? And the scientists...
They say straight up that she has to be like...
She
like
was
10 meters, and she's like, no, she was like 13 meters or something. It was like a specific number.
But she totally was that distance, and like if she wasn't, then it very badly communicated that, because when she was close enough to shoot it, it looked the same distance. This is another thing about scale the movie kind of fucks up with.
Okay, that's fair.
But another thing is that she fires the first shot and misses, and the scientist is like, "Oh, I'll go get another one." Bitch, you didn't have one? Bring them all to the person with the gun in their hands that's currently doing this for the one opportunity you have before you all die. Like, and then he runs like all the way across the fucking deck of the boat and grabs this duffel bag or whatever. It's got like fucking 15 syringes. Like, where was this? Maybe you should have had that on hand. Oh my god. So all that whole scene, like, you can't think about it. And then, so they get the family. The family, I've mentioned it a little bit earlier, but it's very much oh, this script needs more. We got to appeal to small children who are the next 5-year-olds who are going and loving this movie for the rest of their life. We got to appeal to all them. So we're going to fucking get a family with no relevance to anything that happens whatsoever, but they have to be involved in the story. And for me, this might just be me, like a taste thing, but all the comedy missed. Every scene that was like cringe comedy, like, I have weed, do you want weed? All that just... And my audience was the same too in the theater. We were all sitting there like, is this like cringe funny, or is this like an attempt at like what are they? Is this like develop? We didn't know what to make of it. And then like probably the only laugh that the theater had was when he's like, let's go that way, and then there's a ruffling in the trees, and he's like, let's go on, but let's go that way. The theater laughed, and I was like, you almost got me to like, that's like probably the least egregious of the comedy so far, but. No, that whole family made no fucking sense. They didn't have to be there at all. They didn't add anything. And there's just so many scenes of them talking about their backstories. Again, like, oh, the honey only lets me get the kids. I want to make it. And then they're talking like, oh, we're sailing to Cape Town, South Africa. Where the fuck did they sail from? And why are they crossing through what every government has declared a no-travel zone? So, like, and they're like within 20 fucking miles of the evil dinosaur place that immediately kills you, and that every like UN nations is all like, don't go here, it's very illegal, and they're like, oh, let's just hang out here. Like, again, that wouldn't have been a problem if they didn't include this family last minute, which they clearly must have, because they already ironed out their logic so far, and now they're breaking it. They also end the movie by sailing back out and straight back through the same waters where the big fucking dinosaur fucked up both boats at separate times the main characters arrived on. That was really laughable. Like, the ending of the movie, they're all smiling like, we're going to make it free for everyone. I'm like, you're going to get big eaten right now. Who cares?
On a tiny little boat.
on a boat that's smaller than both other boats that the dinosaurs already wrecked in the same place. So that was fucking with me. That was funny.
Well, I think the reason I don't know why I always feel I'm always playing devil's advocate with this shit. I think the reason is that they're on the other side of the island, and so the Mosasaurus is on that side at the moment, and so I think like the explanation is maybe like it's like taking like it's like in its rotation. So at the moment, it's not on that side of the island, so it's still like over there.
If I'm a character, I would not assume that there's only one mosasaur on planet Earth, and especially
there is only one mosasaur on planet Earth.
Does the movie make that clear? Because they only keep making when did they say that?
They literally said this mosasaur has a tracker on it. That's how they were able to find the fucking mosasaur, because they had the tracker.
This mosasaur has a tracker.
Yeah. Jurassic World only made one mosasaur, bro.
It only showed one, but they've had multiple of all of the species.
Wait. Well, they do say that they know that this one is in the, like, it has a specific, like, it does circles around the island. Right. So they know
maybe they got smart at the end and decided to follow the path away from... Maybe I'll give them that. That's like, okay, that's neither here nor there. But...
They're still in a tiny little boat that's going to run out of gas. The other thing about the ending that I think is hilarious is they're like, we're going to give this wonder drug to the people. And I'm like, good luck making it without the resources you need to make the drug out of Dino Dozer.
They needed someone else associated with the rich guy, like another guy from the company, maybe his son, who's just like, I'm not as evil as my dad. I'll help you or something.
True. I think it's funny.
It just drove me crazy, that guy, because he's only evil to push
my God,
the
he's the worst. He's like a cartoon villain.
I got so annoyed that he became cartoon villain, because like at first I was like, I like that he's just open, honest. He's like, yeah, we're gonna make a bunch of money from this, but yeah, it's still gonna be a medical drug. But and then nerd guy goes, he's like, well, they're gonna make it only for the rich. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't know. I mean,
I had a thought about Dr. Loomis. He mentions that he was Alan Grant's grad student at one point. And I'm wondering, was there like a pitch or a treatment where he was supposed to be Billy from Jurassic Park?
Oh, that would have been so cool.
That would be so satisfying. They haven't done anything with that character yet. Oh, I would have loved that.
I I saved your hat.
I think it was so funny that like all the marketing and stuff. It's the Quetzal, the long neck, and then the Mosasaurus. And like even on the popcorn tin and the different cups and stuff. And the whole time I'm thinking to myself before I go into the movie, because I wasn't paying attention to the trailers or anything, and I'm just like, there's a lot of random marketing on these 3 specific dinosaurs. I don't understand why. And then the movie happens, and they're like,
Yep.
okay, so we needed you to get this one, and that one. I was like, that's why we had all the marketing on them.
Yeah. In principle, I'll say this. In principle, I think the premise was very good and smart as like a mission to extract blood from certain dinosaurs to advance whatever they're doing. I think that's what the Jurassic series has been needing, because for the longest time, for all 6 of these movies, it's like, oh, let's try and build a park. Oh, it went wrong. Now there's consequences of trying to build a park. Now we're finally off like that stepping stone, and we're exploring an actual Jurassic World, quote, quote, where like, how do we coexist? Finally a new story. That's one of the reasons I wish that the family wasn't. Oh, one more thing.
Oh yeah, you were about to.
Sorry, I got more with the family. I just can't stop talking about that. I love them so much. So there's that scene before they crash the boat. By the way, he crashed the boat in the worst possible way against that reef. He 100% could have just steered a little to the left and hit
Why
sand
didn't you go into the sand?
instead of the cliff full of rocks that dooms your boat? Anyway, before that happens, all 4 members of the family at some point jump or are pushed off of the boat in rapid succession. And then much later, when the boat crashes into the island, the camera pans forward to reveal that the couple are ahead of the boat, must have swam faster than the boat going like whatever it was. And then moments later, the dad and daughter also just quantum teleported a quarter mile ahead of where they fucking all jumped out. That's like another thing where it's like, what the hell just happened? This is such, and that's another piece of evidence that I think, like, oh, this family was a last-minute thought. We have to shove them in. Again, this is only a problem for someone that didn't write them into the script, and now they have to put them into the script. Like, it's so frustrating to me as somebody who just likes. I don't care about action. I don't care about spectacle. I like those things. I just want a good movie, man. I just want a nice, interesting, coherent story with interesting characters. And yeah, throw some dinosaurs in them and have them fight. I love that too. That's the best thing ever. But like, it works in service of a good movie. And they tanked the quality of their movie by appealing to small children so they can sell more tickets. And hey, they're getting rewarded financially,
Okay,
so whatever.
I wanted to hear your thoughts because you said you didn't like the river.
Oh,
yeah,
my
what
God,
the hell? Do you not like fun? What the fuck,
I
man?
wish I had fun. So that T-Rex is sleeping, right? And she's the family. I forget who has the idea, but they're like, "Oh, good idea. Let's go get that raft and then sail away from this dinosaur, even though we could just turn around or go anywhere else." Okay, so we'll get the raft. So she walks across the ravine. It's like a foot deep.
They didn't know the T-Rex was there.
Yeah.
Good point. So they go get the raft. She walks across the ravine. It's like a foot deep. It's not deep water at all. And she, at some point soon, she then does see the dinosaur. Because when she gets there, she's like, oh, shit. And she gets the bats, and the bats all fly out, or whatever those dinosaurs were. And she's like, oh, shit, I'm almost being loud enough to wake the dinosaur. So she grabs the InGen raft, and, like, it doesn't look that heavy. It's just a raft. And she's, like, dragging it, and it's making this sound along the dock while the dinosaur's like, and, like, you couldn't just, like, lift this. Just do, like, one fucking squat in your life and lift this fucking raft. Or don't. Or just go anywhere else. But regardless, so she drags this raft, inflates it up, and the inflation shot shows the T-Rex waking up. Raft blocks the screen for 5 seconds, and then, like, the fucking flash, the dinosaur has just left and, like, teleported away without. And every other dinosaur movie, when they have the T-Rex move, he steps, just a step, shakes everything. It's loud. It's an event. It happens. And later in the raft scene, when he's walking around, there's impact. But this T-Rex got up and bolted to the side of the camera in, like, 5 seconds without making any noise at all. So that really got me, like, okay, we're more teleporting. I love teleporting so much.
The first movie has a ninja T-Rex too, because he just shows up at the end without.
Right, but when the T-Rex is there, it's really well incorporated. The sound design and everything just works so well. So anyway, with the raft scene, it continues. And so the T-Rex is like, because they all get in the raft. T-Rex notices them and he chases them. And the intent is like, oh, okay, at least that was kind of stupid way to get there, but at least we're gonna have some fun here. So they have fun. He's chasing them on the raft, right? They get to like these 2 stone pillars. Like it's like an opening of water right through the middle where like they get the raft through. And at this point, the T-Rex is playing with its food. It's already like cut them off and then not eaten them and then force them a different way to go that way and then like go over here and scare them and go, like not eat them at all. And then they finally like go through this like small rock opening and they're approaching. I'm like, this T-Rex better not attempt to eat them here. And sure enough, it shoves its big fucking nose in there to scare the audience and the small children watching this. And like the thing's 10 feet tall. Just step over it and eat everyone there. Or just go around it. Or just go, like, oh my god. It's also like rocks. Like, this T-Rex could probably just push it over. But no. No, it's got to attack them only in the way they directly went. Chomp for 2 seconds and go, I guess I just suck at my job and walk away. That was, like, almost as insulting as getting eaten in part 3 when the Spinosaurus whooped your ass. Like, you're just a stupid fucking character in this movie. It's so dumb. So I hated everything about that.
I mean, it's an animal.
Yeah,
it's not
the same character, obviously. But, like, the point is, in other movies...
Jake, the Velociraptors know how to open the doors, not the T-Rex.
Yeah, I know. But, you know, animals know how to hunt.
It's just an animal, Jake.
So that really pissed me off. I was like, they really just, like... T-Rex movie... At least the Jurassic Park series, for all their problems, the T-Rex scenes or whatever evil dinosaurs happen, whatever those scenes are, they kind of act as animals would... And the ways humans escape are usually through ways that they're like the animals literally could not get through. There's even another scene in this movie where like, what's the one with the at the end? It's like a big neck. It's like a hybrid. And it's flying around. What's that thing?
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Mutodon.
The Mutodon. There's a scene where the Mutodon sees them, and they shut a door. This is like in the third act at night. They shut a door, and the camera goes to this bolt that's like a centimeter. And they bolt it, and the thing's like, gush, 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 I can't possibly open this door. I'm like, you just, like, stopped a fucking car with, like, barely even trying, but you can't break this stupid door down? A Snickers bar broke a door down, the same facility. None of this shit made any sense. So, I don't know. And then, and I promise I'll stop. I have so many, I was so many thoughts.
Yeah,
we'll
we
wrap
need to
up,
wrap
but, like,
up.
I have one more parting thought, and that's that you can telegraph exactly which and how many characters even stand a chance of dying based on star power and amount of screen time. So, like, when they all get to that
totally,
island,
I
I'm
agree
like,
with that.
oh, okay, ScarJo, plenty of lines. Mahershala, plenty of lines. Black guy who's bald who said one thing in French once, bro, you're big food. Scientist, they gave you any development at all and you're from fucking Wicked, so you're not going to die. And then fifth guy, I don't even remember who fifth guy was. He's big dead. He was like the first one to die. So, like, for me, it's like that removed all tension.
There was fifth guy, and there was another.
There was another
woman.
woman.
I wish she had lived a little bit longer. But the guy who first dies, he has like a shotgun.
Yeah.
And I just found it so annoying that he was like, "All right, I'm gonna shoot them," and he goes, "Bam, bam, 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 bam," bam, and he's like, purposely missing him. Like, take a minute to aim, you motherfucker.
Yeah, there are a lot of scenes like that. Yeah.
Also, I feel like the other black guy was only there so that they could say, well, we didn't kill all the black people in our monster movie. Mahershala should live. And I do wonder if him living was a reshoot.
Had
or
to
something.
I liked that for once we finally did get one dinosaur get gunned down, which was just the Mutodon in the thing, and Scarlet goes, bam, bam, bam. Because I've been wanting to see that, too. I'm like, I really want to see someone finally gun down some velociraptors or something for once.
I'm disappointed we didn't get to see. This is the second movie in this series where they tease a super potent neurotoxin and they don't use it.
Wait,
I didn't think about that. That's funny.
Oh yeah,
they have like this special. Yeah, they do it in Lost World where it's like, don't shoot you, don't. Where he's like, oh yeah, don't shoot yourself in the foot. You'll die before you feel the prick. And then no dinosaur gets shot with that. And then this movie, they're like, oh, we got this other neurotoxin that we can use on dinosaurs. And then the boat sinks and they lose it.
No. In Lost World, they did use it. Muldoon. No, not Muldoon. Sorry, Roland. Because the fucking idiot, Vince Vaughn stupidly took the shotgun shells out. So he grabs the tranks and tranks the T-Rex.
But that's not the neurotoxin because it doesn't kill the T-Rex.
Yeah, I don't think the neurotoxin was meant to kill the T-Rex. Remember, they were researchers. They were supposed to go in and go out without trying to harm the ecosystem.
True.
So, but yeah, no, that other neurotoxin, like, yeah, I don't know why we didn't use that, but Jake, I'm just saying, I don't know how you don't like fun, and I'm just saying, say everything you like, but this movie did make $1 billion, and you did buy the popcorn bucket, so
The bucket was the best part of the movie.
You're doing what they want you to do, so
he buys the buckets for everything. That
well,
doesn't
to
mean
be
that's
fair,
true. He did buy the equalizer too.
This accountant too.
The accountant too.
Equalizer would just be like the Home Depot in the end of the first movie.
Yeah.
No, the bucket is dope.
Equalizer 2. Equalizer 2 would be the empty town at the end.
I really did.
Yeah, you fill the popcorn up and down.
I wish the movie was as good as this bucket looks, because this bucket is dope, man. That's such a cool bucket.
And I'm not even super defending this movie. I think it's fine. But
Look, I don't know what to tell you. This is the 7th movie in a franchise. And I don't know what more you want. It's dinosaurs chasing and eating people. It's fun and it's cool. What more do you want at this point, Jake? What more can Jurassic Park? Jurassic Park said everything it could say, and that is my biggest argument. Is that Jurassic Park said everything it needed to say in that one book, in that one movie. You really can't do anything bad by that. And this franchise was always meant to be a franchise, and yeah, it didn't really do that well. But it wasn't like they decided, let's turn this one successful movie into a franchise. It was always from the beginning going to be a franchise of sequels. I don't know what more you want.
I feel
just
like
enjoy it for what it is.
I feel like those things are conflicting in the sense of, like, Jurassic Park said everything it possibly could have said, and there's nothing more you could have said. But it was always meant to be a franchise. How could it have been if this was always meant to be just that one where it said everything it could? If you don't know what to say, don't say anything at all. I learned that.
No. What I'm saying is like, you're talking about how they, you want a Jurassic Park story that's like saying things and is like deep and stuff. And it's like, yeah, Jurassic Park 1 did that, but there's really not much you can go beyond that. And so
I mean, this movie did try to say things like twice when the guy talked about how long we've been around on Earth.
I
really
could have
cool.
used more of that.
That was a dope line.
I really could have used more of that, like where that maybe that comes into play later, but that dude just gets eaten. Like
that dude, that was the scientist dude that lives.
Oh, I confused that for the. I'm so sorry. I confused that for the evil guy with the suitcase at the end who gets eaten. But
I will say, I was hoping that guy would get his arm ripped off, and then it didn't.
Oh yeah, that was cool. With the hand.
As soon as they set up, like, I'm gonna chain myself to the case, you're like, oh, that case is getting big dinosaured right now.
I was hoping it would be like he would be like hanging from the helicopter or something, and then Scarlet would just be like,
yeah.
chopped.
Oh, that'd be fun. That'd be fun.
That would have been sick. Yeah.
Also, I do have to say the D-Rex, I didn't notice it until someone pointed it out to me, but it fucking changes size in the ending. It goes from super big, it can hold a helicopter in its mouth, to its head is this much bigger than a human.
Yeah. Another scaling thing. I totally agree. There's just one more thing I want to mention. It's like a small detail. There's just one more, like, small detail I kind of want to bring out there. The little girl brings that tiny dinosaur back to civilization, where the movie could not stop establishing that dinosaurs immediately die in any other climate than the equator.
And they're probably going to get arrested.
Arrested,
that's
and
true.
like there's nothing to arrest anyway. That dinosaur's dead. So, but no, so it's kind of funny because, like, again,
Well, you see, the sweet tart ropes are the cure to the problem.
Look, Dolores needs to sell tickets. Okay, we don't have Baby Blue anymore, so we gotta do Dolores now.
Yeah, I guess so. Yet another problem that only occurs when you add the family into the script. So you can carbon date everything and be like, oh, this is what happened. This is what led to all this. But I will just end. I will end my what is it, like half-hour long rant? I think I've been going. I'm going for a while now.
Yeah, half hour.
We're at almost 3 hours now, dear God.
You're making it sound like I've been ranting for 3 hours. I think I'd die before that.
Jake said that it was too late for him to make a review video, so he's lopping into the.
I'm just getting my passions out, man. I hate it so much. But
this podcast is longer than Dominion right now.
Speaking of things in comparison to Dominion, I think Rebirth is the worst one. It's recent, so I'm gonna let it sit. Recency bias and all that. I want to let it like cook for a month or two, but like, man, I really think that this has the most wrong with it and the most frustrations than I think all of them just ever. So I'm really sitting with that. This is my least favorite one.
Okay. So I'm gonna do my off the cuff ranking
fun.
I've been thinking about.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, obviously number one is Jurassic Park, no question. Then for me, it's Lost World, and right under that is Jurassic World. They're both pretty good with some problems. Then you go down a little bit, and you get down to like the 6 out of 10 category. You get Rebirth, and right underneath it, you get 3. Then down below that, you get Fallen Kingdom. Then you get the giant pile of dino shit. Then you get Dominion.
Wow. So Rebirth is your third favorite, then?
No, it's my
what's your third?
fourth. Jurassic World.
Oh, wait.
Okay,
I thought that was your second.
Park.
No, it's Lost World,
I
then
literally
Jurassic
did not
World.
hear Lost World. I must have like zoned out.
So 1 Lost World, 3.
Rebirth, then 3.
3. Okay, so Rebirth is smack in the middle of all this.
Sure.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say Rebirth and 3 are like on par with each other. They're basically the same kind of movie.
Okay. All right. Jake, you
I'll go
next.
My favorite is Jurassic World Rebirth. No, so Park easy number 1. World. It's funny when I saw World for the first time. I was like 19 or something. I was like, this might be better than Jurassic Park. And then I watched Park and I'm like, oh no, that's the GOAT. No way, can't beat it. So anyway, Park number 1, World number 2. Those two are good old buddies right at the top. And then you go way down here, and you're in like the mids section. I'd say Lost World is number 3. Great scenes, you know. Park 3 is not that bad. Again, like, you know, it's there's parts that are funny bad to me, mostly the Alan scene, but it's just not that bad. Then Fallen Kingdom, which is now we're like, I think all the World sequels are the worst ones at the bottom. So Fallen Kingdom is the least egregious of the World sequels. Then Dominion was my worst one. It was like turbo bad. And then Rebirth. What is that subtitle? What was the Rebirth? Like, everything about it is just the worst. I keep thinking about new things I hate about it. So that's all it is. It's the worst one.
Okay, so for me, is the Jurassic Park blind fanboy. Jurassic Park 1 is the best one of all time. 3 is a close second. I love them all, so this is one of those cases where it's like the lower the list, it looks like it's worse, but I still enjoy them all. I would happily marathon the entire series. But third is Dominion. I know y'all gonna hate me for that, but Alan Grant's in it, and I love Alan Grant.
Blasphemy.
Fourth is Lost World. 5th is Jurassic World. 6th, Fallen Kingdom, and then 7, Rebirth. I might change up this ranking after I rewatch all the World movies, but that's what I got right now. Because I will say, at the end of the day, Rebirth does have like the weak, stupid D-Rex, and I don't like the D-Rex, so I mean that's the end of it. I mean you can't really go off that. So much as I loved Rebirth, it is on the bottom tier. But I do plan to see it like 3 more times.
So wait, which one has the worst case? The worst one?
The worst is Oh, okay. I know what you're going with.
No, I genuinely didn't hear you. I wasn't trying to be smart.
Oh, okay. 7. Bottom of it is Rebirth.
I
Rebirth is
distracted
your least
him.
favorite. Oh my god, that's why you said that. Oh wow, interesting.
Because of the D-Rex. It's like at the end of the day, it's like I can't put it up above any of the other ones because it's like the finale, the final dinosaur. Like Indoraptor still looks really cool, and Lost World, and it's like it just has a weak finale at the end of it. So
Yeah. Well, I now I get why, because I expected when I was like popping off on Rebirth, I expected you to chime in more often than you did, but that makes sense because even though you ended up liking the movie, it is your least favorite of the series. So I get it now. Okay, all right.
I love the movie. I plan to see it 3 more times, but I mean, when I really look at it at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, there's the D-Rex sucks.
I didn't even
I hate
mention
that
the
D-Rex.
I got nothing for or against the D-Rex.
It's
Not a fan. Not
Not
a
a
fan
fan
of the
of the
D.
D-Man.
It's a bad design. It doesn't look good. It's just boring. It's way too monster. Not enough dinosaur, and it just kind of like, I don't know. I think if it looked cooler, I'd be a lot better with it, but it doesn't look cool.
For what
And,
it's worth, I don't
I
mind
mean,
the design of, well, I guess kind of all of the dinosaurs. I kind of like the visuals, maybe of the whole series. I think they all 7 have like mostly really good effects. I can't think of a genuinely bad affected movie. I'm sure there's parts, especially of like maybe some of part 3 that are like, but or
There is one. There is one shot in 3 where they're going down the river, and like the long neck dinosaur like looks down at them, and it's like that's some shitty.
and there's
ass
some
green
scenes
screen.
in Fallen Kingdom, like that first half, where like it's just CGI overload, and there's like dinosaurs exploding in a volcano, and it's like that looks fake as fuck. So, but but all by and large, the series has got great effects. Rebirth, I will single out and say they have very good effects, really, really well in the Jurassic World series.
no animatronics though.
They all looked real, so it's all well and good for me.
I guess. I'm surprised you had nothing to say about that D-Rex. I hated that design.
No,
and you know what? Design is a big thing because you and me, Bruce, we both agreed Indoraptor looks really cool.
it does look really cool. The D-Rex is like the end dinosaur with the big bubble on its head, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that, because I kept thinking that was Titanosaurus because of what the popcorn bucket says.
No, Titanosaurus is from Godzilla.
Yeah, good point, the Muto. But the D-Rex isn't even listed, if that's the case. It's not even there.
No,
But-
not the Muto. Titanosaurus is an old school Godzilla monster.
Oh, is it? I thought it was in the MonsterVerse, but I don't know. I don't hate the Jurassic Park or World series. If it continues in the vein of the last couple of them, I will. But as of right now, I think it's just a mixed bag. It's like the Fast and Furious. They got some great ones, you got some misses, and generally they accomplish what they do. Like, there's dinosaurs eating people. If that's all you're going for, you get it every single film. So it's not
It's
that
a better
bad.
series than the Fast and Furious series, in my opinion.
I think I would agree with you.
Dinosaurs are cooler than cars.
Dinosaurs are cooler than cars. Yes.
I don't have to stare at Vin Diesel the whole movie, okay? I'm sorry.
I don't mind that series, but hearing the shit Vin Diesel is saying about the new one, I'm like completely just dead in the water. In
Oh
terms
yeah,
of my interest.
the latest like 3 or 4 since Paul Walker passed away. I think Vin Diesel has just taken that franchise and just wiped his ass with it. I think it's the worst decisions you could have made.
Like I thought Fate was okay, but it wasn't good enough for me to bother with like.
Oh, you didn't
F9
see
or
9 and
fucking
10,
Fast
did you?
X.
Oh man. Oh, you're
No, I
in for
didn't.
real time.
I'm not go. I'm probably not
Baby.
going to. I saw Hobbs and Shaw. That one was okay.
I also saw Hobbs and Shaw. That's one of the best ones in the series. And it's not even that great.
God, Hobbs and Shaw was so bad. Oh my god.
Bro, that movie was worth it just for the scene where Dwayne Johnson holds a helicopter.
Yeah, he did a Superman, Captain America, actually, from Winter Soldier. But yeah,
But, yeah, I gotta see F1, so that's the.
Oh, it's
that's
good.
All right, but that's our show, everyone. Thank you so much for listening. I think we've thoroughly bored Bruce to death with us arguing about stuff. Jake, we can only do.
Oh, I just thought about 20 more things that I hate about Rebirth. Let me keep going. Strap it down.
I'm not bored. I just did a 9-hour shift today, and I'm fucking tired.
I think that's everything we have to say. And with that, goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Bye.